On the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis. A two-hand rip. A brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Well, Cattles and Rami will have pregame coverage as well as the first quarter breakdown of the game later tonight. Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story up right now at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. How about that? There's a reverse boycott at the Oakland Coliseum tomorrow, and the game begins at 6:40. Those are your headlines. Now let's get started with Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson here today on Chris and Company.
Yeah, happy Monday if such a thing is possible. Dub G and JJ. JJ wearing the, I like that, the red Sactown. They didn't wear these this year, did they?
They did not.
Yeah.
They did not.
Hat.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
One of the games, I think it was game 3, we were playing the Miami Heat, if I'm not mistaken here, or whatever game that was, and we were sitting behind Vivek and Martina, and I had a shirt like this and another hat, kind of a blue version, and they both looked back and was like, we should bring those colors back. So I'm putting it on here on the record. People who are around me, I won't drop the names who are with me, but people who are around me, we said it. If they bring back those colors, I need to get paid. Something got to happen. They got to put me on staff, Whitey. Something has to happen. But yeah, happy Monday, big time.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here. You know what's sad, though, on this Monday, aside from some of the things that make Monday not the best day of the week, but say it ain't so, Bobby Jackson. Can you believe it? I mean, great for him, but Bobby Jackson moving on. Of course, the finals resume tonight. Bobby it's almost like Jerry Reynolds, some of the things he's done here. He hasn't been here quite as long, but he's had so many different roles in Sacramento. And again, great for him. He's moving on to join Nick Nurse's staff with the Philadelphia 76ers. But it seems like, no, it's like the Tower Bridge is being, transported somewhere or something, transferred. Bobby, Sacramento.
Yeah, it is. He is. I mean, at this point, the great part about what we do, Whitey, is we're privy to certain information sometimes earlier. We're privy to information that a lot of people don't know. And I can speak on it now because it's happened, but, found out, and I'm not an insider, so I don't jump off and have to tweet and tell people I know about this type of stuff. And just happy, man. Shot him a text. Hey, love, support, good stuff. I'll say this. You heard it here first. Keep your eye. Someone else that has been part of the Kings kingdom will be on that Philadelphia 76ers front bench as well. So keep your eye on that. Yes, sir.
A lot of people wondering, speaking of people that used to be part of the Kings regime here, about Dave Yeager's future in Philadelphia.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Isn't it interesting that guys like, and this is one of my pet peeves, Whitey, is I'm just tired of the recycled head coach in the NBA, and let alone more or less in the NFL, but you definitely see it too many times in the NBA. And so to see guys, to go back to your first premise, when you got Bobby Jackson being able to move up, Dave Yeager, who's been in that number 1 seat before, but looking to try to probably get back to that. It's like, let's see some new talents, infuse some new blood into the NBA coaching ranks. We see Charles Lee go to Boston, and, it's just,
I think that worked against Doc.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I mean, there's lots of reasons why teams want to move on from him, but the Suns probably decided, he's the ultimate retread right now, fairly or unfairly.
Yeah. He needs a year off.
Yeah, probably.
It's one of those where you have to take a year off, as they say, let me take a year off and pick my, let me have a rest break, and then I'll jump back in next year. But it's going to be interesting.
The Suns obviously, it's like they decided to go with a retread.
I know.
So
same one. Nick Nurse, retread. Same situation. Suns retread with Vogel, even though he's off. Monty Williams jumped straight over to Detroit, even though it had been hard to turn down that bag. I don't think anyone would have turned down almost $80 million. You know, and we saw Adrian Griffin finally get a spot in Milwaukee after being an assistant coach for feels like half my life after playing. So, you know, congrats to him. Salute to him. You saw Ime get the job. However you feel about Ime, I'll leave that to you. Retread going down to Houston. So it's interesting. That's why it's great to see guys like Bobby Jackson move on up front of the bench. And now, you know, as I always say, my guy, Doug Christie, front of the bench. And, you know, hopefully down the road, these guys get an opportunity to be a head coach.
Yeah, and of course, last year, Stockton Kings under Bobby Jackson, 40 and 25.
Yeah, they balled.
But to your point, I think a lot of teams have come to the conclusion that unless we're a team that's going to compete for a title, we can actually save money there. We bring in a young coach, and he learns – you know, the ropes a little bit, and he grows into the job, and we don't have to spend a lot of money on that. That's why I was so surprised that Detroit, and I think Monty Williams is a good coach, but to get Monty Williams and to pay him all that money when the trend has been to a degree going the other way. We have seen some retreads, as we say, hired this year, but that just surprised me that they gave him that much money.
You know, it's Monty is the epitome of a great guy in the league. From everyone you speak to, and I don't know Monty. You know Monty Whitey at all? No, I don't know Monty, but everyone that I've ever spoken to, everyone that has come across, that I've come across and has said words about Monty, fantastic. It's always good. Players coach, great guy, great attitude, down to earth. He's had some horrific things happen to him in his life, you know, with his wife and children and things like that. And I just salute him for continuing to keep going at what he loves and what he wants to do. And, you know, it's difficult when you when you're coaching guys like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Chris Paul, and we see DeAndre Ayton's kind of got a little attitude over the last couple of seasons. And so to do that, be coach of the year a couple of times, he's worth it. I guess he's worth it. And one thing I know, you're worth what someone will pay you.
Yeah.
And if he's going to get $72 million, someone believes in him a whole lot. Salute.
Yes.
I'm with
no
you,
question.
Yeah.
No question. Two things I know I'll always remember about Bobby Jackson, who was, I think he was a better player than he gets credit for being.
Yes.
You know, he was one of those guys when he was a sixth man of the year, he played as if he was trying to prove to everybody, I'm better than this. You know, and he probably was, but on that team, that was his best role.
Yes.
But years ago, one of my daughters had a really good friend she went to high school with, and that young lady's favorite player was Bobby Jackson. And her family underwent one of those things, unfortunately, that happens sometimes, very, very, very unfortunate event. And I remember reaching out to the Grizzlies at the time, and Eric Hasseltine, who was the play-by-play guy, and I said, hey, you know, this friend of my daughter's, Bobby's her favorite player, and her family just is going through this terrible thing. Could Bobby sign a ball? And sure enough, Bobby did. He signed it, and I went out and got it, picked it up, and I'll never forget that. The other thing is, does anyone remember years ago when Bobby was playing for the Kings, and he got into it, I think, with Tracy McGrady in Orlando, and there was almost a brawl. And it was one of these things where we're wondering, are players going to get suspended for coming out on the court? And I think the Kings dodged the bullet on that. And we had Bobby on this station on the show, and we were talking about it, and he said, you know, I wanted to punch him. And we said, no, you didn't, you know, because we figured you don't want to get fined.
Sure.
He said, I was going to punch him. He said, no, you weren't right. No, you weren't really. He said, oh, yeah, I was going to
throw that brawl.
So that was Bobby. He's going to bring you the truth.
Oh, man, one thing about Bobby is he going to let it hang out.
Yeah.
You know, one thing about Bobby, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those things. Did your parents ever tell you, think before you speak, Whitey?
Sure.
My mother was one of those. Before you say anything, think about it, right? Because you never know the repercussions that's going to come back towards your way or how it would affect other people. Bobby is one of those guys. He's probably close. Like, I'm probably closer to Bobby. Sometime I just let it go. I let it hang, and I'll deal with the repercussions at the back end of what I've said.
Yeah.
To me, that's how Bobby approaches it sometimes is, you know what? I'm going to say how I feel.
And he was that way as a TV analyst too.
Very much so. I mean, it was a couple times you gotta put your finger on the dump button with B Jack, you know? So it's one of the, I mean, congratulations to Bobby, man. He is, as you said, Whitey, he has been etched in Sacramento lore for so long. And even though he's not from here, he is definitely someone. He is part of Sacramento. He is part of the Sacramento heart. And again, to see where he's come from, where he was player development coach, to summer league coach, to G League coach. 2 years ago, they were right at the cusp of making the playoffs. And I believe they lost 5 or 6 in a row.
Oh, really?
Something like that. And they missed the playoffs. And so, I remember him being kind of distraught and upset a little bit. And then they turned it around this past year. And I believe they lost in the 3rd round. They didn't make it to the championship, but it's great to see one of ours move on.
And don't you think, Jay, it feels like it's time, and the Kings are in a much better position than they were a few years ago, and Bobby helped with that. He contributed to that. Now the team is moving on, and now he has a chance, and it just feels like, all right, Bobby, mission accomplished. All the best to you.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. I love what you're saying there, Whitey. I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I definitely, when you have someone part of your pack, part of your party, it makes you feel better, right? And that's the one thing about Sacramento is a lot of people talk about, and you don't see this as much as, of course, when when your heyday of the 2000 teams, or it's so tough to get people back, but get here. But when people come to Sacramento, they stay here. They don't want to leave. They don't like to go. And if they have to move or they move on, they always still kind of have a toe in the water of Sacramento. They always still come back. They always like to say hi to people. They always make sure they're entrenched in what Sacramento's doing all the time.
Wasn't Bobby also the one that put popcorn in somebody's car?
Yes.
Who was that? It was the guy from...
Is that Jabari Smith?
No, it was the guy from Syracuse. Who saved somebody from drowning. I don't know why, I can't think of his name. And he had put like chocolate syrup or something all over Bobby's car. And Bobby's like, the youngsters can't do that. And he filled his car with popcorn.
Who am I missing? Why am I missing that? Syracuse.
Dante Green.
There you go. Dante Green.
That's who it was.
Dante Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a Bobby Jackson thing.
Yeah, because it's you got to know your role. You got to know your place. And I knew my place, and now you're going to learn your place.
That sounds like a Bobby Jackson thing, a Vlade Divac thing. That sounds like a bunch of those guys thing. Like from that team, Jay Will thing, Brad Miller thing. I mean, there's some guys on that team that you got to always constantly look over your shoulder. I mean, those dudes were, as I tell them all the time, every single time I get an opportunity to speak to a bunch of those guys, man, they were a rolling Beatles, the rolling Beatles of basketball. A lot of people don't understand how popular that team really was because they played kind of like the Showtime Lakers. It was fast. It was quick. It was on point, precise, fun. There you go.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know we were going to start Monday with the a throwback of 2000 Kings team.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Where you going, brother?
Best thing about Bobby, he was honest, right? Everyone loved him because you knew what he felt. He played that way. He played hard, and you just, there was no, is this guy being duplicitous? What's he really thinking? He's going to tell you what he really thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
When's the last time you talked to Bobby and he didn't tell you what he thought?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Of course, last time I called him, I didn't hear back from him. So that's
telling you what he thought.
Story. Exactly right. Coming up, is it ever safe to say the Heat are finished? I want to say it, but I'm not sure I should. Next, Chris and company with Dub G and JJ today, Sactown Sports.
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Expectations coming into the season and how we performed. I mean, it's one of the more special seasons that I've had in my 11 years.
Stay tuned all off season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
You've heard all of his greatest hits. And now's your chance to see Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter Gavin DeGraw live at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville. Get your tickets now to see Gavin DeGraw Friday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
The ball off the floor. And here they go. The benches are empty.
Well, the big thing is the benches better not empty. The league is watching that very closely. Guys coming off the bench. Orlando guys stayed still, but a couple of Sacramento players ran off the bench, particularly Turkoglu and Divac.
They were both benches were halfway on the floor. McGrady was at the center of it for the Orlando Magic, and then Bobby Jackson was the combatant for the Sacramento Kings. There was a punch by McGrady, a shove by Jackson. Both benches got about halfway on the floor, then quickly retreated to their respective benches.
And the officials saw that right away. There should have been a technical foul, but I give the official credit right here. Ed Rush, look at, he goes in there and breaks it up. He gets right in the middle of the pile to try to prevent anybody from getting their finger bit.
Wow. Thank you, Kyle. That's 2001?
2001.
And who was the analyst? Was that Danny Ainge or was it Reggie Theus? Whoever it was, I think that was a former King also. At first I thought it was Reggie Theus, but then I think it was Danny Ainge.
I'm not 100% sure, can't confirm, but for sure Kevin Harlan on the call.
Yes. That team, they stuck together, didn't they, Jay?
They did.
Jay Johnson, Whitey Gleason today on Chris and Company saying a fond farewell to Bobby Jackson, leaving to become an assistant coach with the Philadelphia 76ers. And as we went through our recollections, I remembered that. Yeah, I remember Bobby was on the station the next day or so saying, oh, yeah, I want to punch Tracy McGrady.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I'm a T-Mac guy, but, I mean, look, you can't back down.
No.
Can't back down, especially when T-Mac throws his hands up like, what's up, man? You know, I mean, you got to at least approach the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the NBA, ain't nobody really getting punched in the face. Why? There's too many things going on, too much money. It looks good, but we all know. When's the last time you've seen an NBA fight cause harm on a player?
I mean, whatever happened, was it last season with Jokic and whichever Morris was on the Heat at the time?
Markieff.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty bad, but it's funny you mentioned that because one of the things I expected to see in these finals was I thought there's such a physical mismatch here. I mean, I think Denver's such a better team that I thought the Heat at some point things were going to get very chippy, and they really haven't. And I'm not calling out the Heat, and I'm not criticizing them, but I thought it would be a lot chippier. Maybe some of that's still to come.
Yeah, well, they better flip the switch right now. Because if they don't, they're not going to have a lot of more to come. So
is it over? Are you calling it right now? Is it all over?
Well, the series is over for sure. I don't know if they lose tonight, but the series is done, man. It's not going to happen. Denver's too talented.
I agree.
You can see it. The talent level. You know, we've heard about Miami's 4 guys not drafted. I mean, they push it down at this point. It's in our face. It's a billboard at this point. You're driving down the freeway. Okay, Miami Heat, they got 4 guys undrafted. We got it. We understand.
I think it's like 7, isn't it?
But the 4 play for the most part. Or 5, because with they about 5 play. So my thing with that is we get it. We understand. We know. They're in the NBA, though, at this point. And Gabe Vincent's been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I've said this about Caleb Martin. Did you have an opportunity to go check him out at UNR?
No, I didn't. I remember when he and his brother played there, but I didn't see him other than on TV.
That was a total miss by NBA scouts. The dude is 6'7", 6'8". He's long. He can handle the ball. He can shoot it. He's tough. He's not going to back down. He's tested. How was he not draftable compared to some of these other guys?
And his brother got drafted too.
I got drafted.
Caleb would have been drafted ahead of Cody.
Correct, because Caleb was the more potent guy in UNR, University of Nevada, Reno. But they both were right there, neck and neck. Both of those guys should have been drafted. So I'm over that part of it.
It's more a reflection of the scouts missing than it is the players.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And look, it's easier to take a flyer on a guy that's not drafted. Kudos to Miami. I don't want to pull anything away because they have all these guys. But again, Gabe's bounced around a few times. He was here. So let's give the credit to the Kings then, right?
Yeah.
More than Miami, even though they didn't put them on the big team. But it's over. Too much talent from Denver, man.
Yeah, I think so. On the other hand, I agree with you, but it's dangerous to dismiss the Heat. The Heat, they shouldn't come back and win the series, shouldn't be able to, but they've done a number of things this year that you shouldn't be able to do. They had a better record on 0 days rest, the Heat did. On 0 days rest, 7-7, than they did on 2 days, they were 7-8, or 3 days rest, they were 1-2. So this team is just different. They shot a lower percentage from the field than the Spurs did in the regular season. The Spurs won 17 games. And the Heat shot a lower percentage from the field than the Spurs in the regular season. But in the playoffs, they shot a higher percentage than the Sixers, who won 56 games. So it's like, which is the real Miami Heat team? And they've had more 4-game winning streaks in the playoffs, 2, than they did in the regular season, 1. So they are hard to pinpoint as far as what exactly they are.
True.
That's it. True. I think right now I agree with you. I think they're just plain overmatched right now.
Yeah, I think the talent gap is just too big. I was watching Paul George. Paul George has a podcast. Everybody has a podcast at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom has a podcast, I believe. You know, I'm going to have to ask her and see because, I mean, everyone has a podcast. I mean, at this point, everyone has one. I mean, there's, too many podcasts, but he said something that caught my mind. He was talking about Jimmy Butler and his will to win. And he was like, hey, look, you can't count out the Heat. And he was talking about Jimmy Butler. He said he's well-rounded and Jimmy has the will that you can't teach. He's got a will to win. Something about Miami, can't put my finger on it. They just don't want to lose. They don't like to lose. And that, for me, as simple as it is, it's spot on. It's almost like, I hate to lose, Whitey. I don't know. I'm very competitive. My wife talks about my competitiveness.
We talking like board games and the like?
Everything.
Okay.
I have a 12-year-old daughter, and you have to let her win here and there, right?
For you,
but it's very difficult. Look, you got to earn it, man. You got to earn the W. But it's one of those things where they don't want to lose. I refuse to lose.
Yeah.
You can't, even if you beat me, you didn't beat me.
First time my daughter beat me in horse, it's like, oh, that's great, you won, but I was mad. Yeah.
You were upset, man?
Yeah. Wasn't mad at her. It's like, that's great, but I can't believe I lost.
Do you remember what age that was that she won?
Well, she was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was just having a bad shooting day.
Anyway,
yeah.
My point right there. That's my point. Is even when you beat me, you didn't beat me. I beat myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's borderline craziness. It's borderline,
probably not entirely healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Insanity. But for the most part, I think it takes that type of mentality to be great.
Well, that's where I think you get back to picking the guys that were not drafted. Everybody would prefer to win, right? I think everybody, like, you want to win or lose? Well, I'd rather win. But when it comes to pro sports, you need the guys that you're describing, like yourself, the guys that have to win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to tell. Some guys are really like, some guys don't like basketball that much. They like what the game gives them. And you can't blame them for that.
Mm-hmm.
But Miami has a lot of those guys that like, we have to win.
Like
Larry Bird. I always think of Larry Bird.
Okay.
Just one example, right? He had to win. I think maybe Tom Brady's another one. Jimmy Butler certainly won. And the Heat has a lot of them. So that's one of the keys to their success is they have those guys, a lot of those guys. We have to win.
No matter what, you know. And it's interesting. I also equate their success to guys who have had to fight for their NBA career. The Haywood Highsmiths, as we talked about, right? Those type of guys, the five that we continue here, Duncan Robinson, who started at D3 and then went to Michigan and so on and so forth, and now he's here.
They had to earn it.
Yes, those type of guys to get to the position to where they're at, nothing was handed to them for the most part. They've had to have the will to win, to succeed in their career, to succeed in their basketball, their journey. And so I think that plays a part in the fact of on the court as well. It's like, look, I wasn't drafted. I had to go the G League route, or I had to go a unsigned free agent route, and I had to work myself up. I was at the end of the bench. I did, I was making crumbs compared to everybody else. Everybody walking in their Lamborghinis. I'm riding in my old Tahoe, from college.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that plays a part into the makeup, the chemical makeup of who their team is. But now this is the difference. It's all good and dandy. It happens, and we've seen them guys. We've seen the Heat get to the finals. But there is a point in time where the talent gap presents
too much.
itself.
Yeah, as
It's
long
too
as a
much.
team with more talent is playing at that level as well, which is interesting. You probably heard Michael Malone said, I think it was yesterday, he said, we have to be as desperate as they are.
Yeah.
We have to be, in our minds, we're the team that's down.
Mhm.
I don't know about
Coach
that, but
talk.
he's right. Yeah, because if Denver comes in tonight like, we're at home, we got this. Next thing you know, they'll be looking up the fourth quarter. We're down 6. Now we're really in trouble.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. You know what's interesting in it? We could talk about this down the road for the show. I want to get your take. It's something that's, old question. But would you rather win it at home, or would you rather, because some people like to go into on the road and snatch the heart out of someone, or would you rather be at home and celebrate? Because now look, you can fly to friends and family. They can fly on and down to Miami, right? No problem there. It's not 1987. It's very easy to get back and forth. But would you rather win it at home to celebrate with your fans?
I think winning at home is always preferable. But to your point, you go back to last year, the Warriors, I'm sure they wanted to win in Chase, but winning in Boston was
Come on now.
very sweet for them.
I think for the first one, you want to be at home. I think first one, you want to be at home for Denver.
Having never won, this would be their first one in anything.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I understand.
There's something to be said for winning on the road and sticking it to somebody else.
I know, man, Whitey, look, I'm trying to take, I'm going Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Take out your heartbeat, man.
Coming up next, that delay on a Vegas vote. It's good news for Oakland, and they're meeting again today. But how good? We'll look at some of the numbers here and where this vote apparently stands on the Las Vegas A's, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow night's reverse boycott, too. It's Chris and Company, Whitey Gleason, Jay Johnson, Sactown Sports.
It's Kettles and Rami.
Because the UFO's not in their driveway, Rami. It's miles away.
I feel like we would have seen it.
I'm saying you don't like the quality of the video that we have.
Because we have clear video of everything that happens everywhere. John Morant is flashing guns, and every time it happens, somehow it's on Instagram. Nobody's got a clear shot of an alien or a UFO of non-human origin.
What are you failing to pick up that I'm putting down?
What are you failing to pick up that I'm putting down here?
It's thousands of miles away, Rami.
Kettles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by RC Willey Home Furnishings.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Monday forecast is looking partly cloudy. Could even have a stray shower in the valley, but the best activity in terms of thunderstorms will be in the foothills and the Sierra. Expect afternoon highs in the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
Lowe's knows the best deals for dad. That's why this Father's Day, you can shop our best gifts from the brands he loves for less. Help Dad power his next big project by getting him a Cobalt 24-volt Max drill kit, now only $89. And save up to 40% on select tools and accessories. Shop Father's Day deals today, in-store and online. Lowe's knows dads. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/14 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
If your Medi-Cal is ending, Cover California is here to help. Cover California is a service from the state that helps you get affordable health insurance. In many cases, at no cost to you, just like with Medi-Cal. We have quality health plans, and we'll help you every step of the way to get the one that works for you and your family. So, if you're no longer eligible for Medi-Cal, check out Cover California. We'll keep you covered. Learn more at coveredca.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Summer's here, and the deals are heating up at Fasteners Tool Outlet. You'll find scorching deals next Saturday on Makita Tools. Get 2 free batteries with the purchase of a circular saw kit and get $50 off any 40-volt tool kit. Fasteners Tool Outlet is turning up the heat on Makita Summer Savings next Saturday. Buy a 2-piece combo kit and get 2 extra free batteries. Come into Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Have you ever needed a second chance? A chance at a do-over? Elk Grove Kia thinks everyone deserves a second chance, and yet too many folks don't get that second chance they need or deserve. Well, Elk Grove Kia wants you to know we've got you covered. With over 100 years of combined experience in financing, we have the connections and knowledge to get you the approval that others just can't. Doesn't matter if you have late payments, charge-offs, bankruptcies, or repos. If you can make the payment, we can find a way to get you on the road with a new set of keys. Elk Grove Kia can even make all this happen with little to no money down. Don't wait. Enjoy your summer with a new set of wheels. Get started today at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports Headlines. The NBA Finals Game 5 is tonight, with the Denver Nuggets leading the Miami Heat 3-1. The broadcast begins at 5:30 on ABC. Cattles and Rami are going to have your pregame coverage today, plus a first quarter breakdown live on the show. Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story up right now at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. How about that? The A's can make the wild card in the American League if they win 73 of their last 95 games, which would be 35 games better than the current Tampa Bay Rays. Those are your headlines. Now let's return to Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson filling in today on Chris and Company.
If I'm not mistaken, Jay Johnson, and I could be, but you played college baseball in Oakland? Is that right?
Yeah. Part of it, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that was the back half of it.
Okay.
That's when I was done. Like man, it's a long story. We don't have time to go down this story, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you played baseball at Oakland.
Yes.
So I'm guessing, and we've talked before, I've been on with you on the afternoons, of course. Kind of an A's fan, or you got a soft spot in your heart for the Oakland
I love
A's?
it. Wait a minute now. Hold on. That's the one and only team there, brother.
Okay.
Oakland A's fan since I was 5 years old. My first T-ball team was the Oakland A's over at Lemon Hill Little League at that time, which is well defunct, right off of MLK, before I moved over to Willow Rancho. But that was my very first team that I'd ever played on, and I loved Ricky Henderson. Love Canseco.
My wife's favorite player, Ricky Henderson.
Absolutely. Come on. Hindu, Carney Lansford, Mike Gallego. You know, those were my guys, man. And it's almost a black eye to say you like Jose Canseco now, but Canseco was a beast at that point.
Yeah.
Loved it. Terry Steinbach, you know, keep going. Those Tony Phillips, those type of guys, but loved the A's,
Tony
man.
Phillips played till he was 50-something. He was played
for him and Ricky.
The Pittsburgh Diamonds in an independent league. Yeah.
Him and
just
Ricky.
Love baseball.
Yeah, that guy, Ricky was playing for a team in Maine at one point, I think, on the back half. the Bears, or what were they called?
That's a good trivia question. Who was Ricky Henderson's final major league team?
Oh my goodness!
And I think
Padres.
It was the Dodgers, believe it or not.
Oh my!
It was either the Dodgers or the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those ones like, what? People say, what? No, he didn't.
You got it. Yeah. 2003, he played for the Dodgers. 2002 with the Red Sox. 2001, the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
And then half a season with the New York Mets and half a season with the Seattle Mariners.
Now, you know why I didn't remember the Dodgers? Because I hate them.
I know it, but I don't remember it. Does that make sense? I know it as a fact, but I can't say I remember it. So how difficult is this for you? And I know, again, we've talked about it. I know you guys talk about it in the afternoon. They're supposed to be meeting again today in Vegas to vote on whether they're going to approve that move. The A's to Vegas.
The Newark Bears was the team I was thinking about before he got out. Ricky Henderson, that is.
Yeah.
How difficult is it for me as far as what, Whitey? Because
emotionally,
this is a loaded question here, sir.
Just how does it feel? I mean, I'm having a hard time. I went to A's games from the time I was real, 7 years old or whatever it was, the Oakland Coliseum. And it's been great to see, they had great teams. The A's always had great teams. They're terrible. Great teams. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Great teams. They're terrible. Yeah. That's just the history. That goes back to Philadelphia. But it's been really interesting to see those cycles. And now to think, I don't know, this just seems so wrong, the whole thing, because as we know, everyone knows, I know some people, it's like your eyes roll back in the head and it's like that again. The people in Las Vegas don't really want the team, but they still may get it.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
Money.
Yeah.
You know how it is. It rules all, man. It's undefeated. The dollar bill is undefeated, Whitey. Yeah. Well, in the whole dynamic things, it's painful. I mean, it's the only team I've ever loved. It's the only team I've ever liked. It's the only team I ever wanted to play for. It's the only team that I ever rooted to the point of exhaustion. See the A's. Oh, okay. Like you said, we're great. 3, 4, 5 year run. And then it's like, oh my goodness, here we go. But it's kind of like Kings, right? There's hope. There's always hope. And this year for the Kings, it showed, it was a long time. People with Sweet 16 had a Sweet 16 party since the last time the Kings were good. But for the A's, it's been closer, good years. But it's difficult in the point that I never thought I would be in this position more than anything. And if you've never, one thing in my life, Whitey, man, is coming from where I come from, the background, people I grew up, all that type of stuff. There's really not a lot in life that surprises me. And that's good or bad. I've probably been exposed to too much, and I've probably seen too much in many different ways. And
so it's like a defense mechanism.
Yes.
You've just learned.
Yes. Yeah. Great point.
Yeah.
But this is something I never would have thought ever. The A's would be on their way out of town.
The frustrating thing is that it's so clearly wrong, but there's no one riding to the rescue on this one.
No.
There's no, the commissioner forcing them to sell. There's nothing like that happening here like we saw in Sacramento. They, of course, were supposed to reconvene today at 9.
Yes.
Because they met Thursday. Things didn't go well last Wednesday, as we know.
Yeah.
Talking about the state legislature. So they held it over till today. That's good because that means they don't have enough votes to pass this thing.
Correct.
That's why they delayed it. That means they didn't have enough votes. However, they met again today. There's at least one amendment to it that was to be presented today. Here was the latest I saw on how the vote was going from a writer with the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Who was that?
This was late last
Nick
week.
Akers. Who was that?
I don't think it was Nick Akers.
Okay.
It might have been Steve Sebelius. Anyway, He said 8 leaning yes right now.
Yeah.
8 leaning no. 5 undecided.
Yep. So we need.
It takes 11. It's just it. That's 11 carries the motion.
Yeah, we need 3 people to say no.
Yeah. So that, if that's accurate, I have no reason to think it isn't. It's going to be very close.
Yeah,
very close.
And it has to go through the Senate right before the Assembly and then through the mayor, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a 3-pronged situation as well.
Yes. Yeah. And the governor, of course, part of it is going through him.
Excuse me, mayor, then the governor. Right?
He's the one trying to ramrod this thing through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
and then MLB also has to vote, but they're going to.
Oh, of course. At this point, Manfred's going to do anything that anybody else tells him to do. That's as far as an owner. It's I can't see the A's doing well in Las Vegas. And I know that sounds like I'm hating Whitey because I'm an A's fan. But who why would you want to go to a Las Vegas A's team, game where they're not doing well? John Fisher, I don't care what John Fisher says. He said for years, if he gets a ballpark, he'll put, invest into the team. He's not.
I wouldn't think so.
He does not want to. He cares about the land around the new arena that he can make money on.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his family can make money on. And that's been the big issue with the city of Oakland. The city of Oakland has ordinances that if you take over a large mass area of land to utilize it and build and construct, you must also construct or initiate fees to assist with living. Because I don't know the last time you've been through Oakland, Whitey, but there's just like here in Sacramento, there's an issue with homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
People living on the street and don't have a safe place to go every single day, every single night, sleeping in tents, those type of things. And Oakland has a big situation just like that. And they need to create more places of safe shelter. And that's what they continue to push on. Now, again, that's just part of it. Don't get me wrong. They want the hotels. They want the establishments, the businesses, the restaurants, all those type of things as well. And the A's, John Fisher, they want to be able to control that. And Oakland's like, nah, that's not going to happen here.
Well, there's something similar going on, maybe not to the same degree, but with the legislators in Vegas, Democrats Wednesday in the hearing requested changes that will, quote, put more teeth into the community benefit agreement requirements in law. And lawmakers are looking for a funding package that doesn't only benefit the A's, but the Nevada public at large. And again, as I said, according to reports, the state's residents overwhelmingly oppose
SB1, right?
Overwhelmingly oppose SB1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're working. And you know how it is. You don't want to vote on this? What do you want? Okay, well, look, if you vote yes on this, then we will address this other thing that you want. And you do that, 3 times, and boom, the motion carries.
Yeah.
And the A's are on their way.
Well, look, we're hoping for 3 of those people out of the 5 that's undecided.
Yeah.
To stick to their guns and hopefully fall on the side of no, we don't want to pass this and allow the Oakland A or the Las Vegas A's there in the. That don't even sound right. See what I'm saying, Whitey?
I do.
I just stumble over the words, man, because it doesn't even sound right coming out.
Horrible.
No, man, come on now. The Oakland Athletics.
I still can't say Las Vegas, the football team.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, look, and that's the tough. You know what makes it so tough, and I know we have to break. I had these same conversations with the silver and black fans. And I asked them, if they were to leave, would you still be a fan? And just to see the anguish on most people's faces. And now I'm looking in the mirror and I'm asking myself that, and that's the difficult part.
I don't blame Raider fans for continuing to root for their team. I'm just not.
I'm not.
Good for you.
I'm out.
Time to tear down the Dame era in Portland. I think it is. And we'll look at why next. Chris and company. He's JJ, Whitey Gleason, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers 2023 schedule is out and filled with big matchups.
The 49ers start the season with a Week 1 showdown in Pittsburgh.
At home in Week 5 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
And a Week 13 NFC Championship game rematch with the Eagles.
San Francisco! Plus, get every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports. Visit SactownSports.com for the latest team news and a full schedule breakdown.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's Thunder Valley's $20,000 20th anniversary cash giveaway. 5 winners on Friday and Saturday nights in June. One very lucky guest wins $20,000 guaranteed. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Kevin, Michael, Whitey, Gleason, Jay Johnson with you today. Chris and co getting ready for Game 5 of the finals. You know, the sad thing is, very good chance that Denver wraps it up tonight, Jay, and then I don't have any basketball for a while.
You know, I'm not, Whitey, I'm not the person, man. I like to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds crazy because, you know, I work at a sports station. I've always worked at sports stations. But I have other things going on in my life too, brother.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not always wrapped up in having to watch a game every day, all day, right? And so
I like to be able to.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I get it.
And yeah,
but it comes a point in time, everything has to end, right?
An off season.
Come
Everybody
on now.
needs an off season.
So
you get a little bit of, you get a little sad maybe when the season ends.
No,
that way with every season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's here goes my Bobby Jackson moment, right? Realistically, you have to move on.
Yes.
And I'm always, especially because my team hasn't won, right? I'm always looking forward to the next year anyway. When you win that championship, Denver Nuggets fans, because I'm calling it's over. It's a wrap here, right? It's a Christmas gift.
Mm.
They should be able to soak in until next year. Like, hey, I'm going to ride this out. I don't never want to start next season. Beyond that, every NBA fan, if you're a fan of someone else, other than the Denver Nuggets, you should be wanting to look forward to next year. I'm done with this year. And the other part for me too is, I think you've heard me say this before, and I say this all the time. There's one part in life that I believe you can be a hater in, and it's sports. I can't stand teams. I don't like people. I don't like players, not as personal, but as the professional on the court, on the field.
Sports hate. Sports hate. It's not real hate.
Absolutely. There you go. I don't want anyone to win. So the fact that you won and my team didn't, I can care less. Let's talk about next year.
Okay.
And that's my whole thing. So I don't look forward to watching anybody else play. You know, it's entertainment. That's how I look at sports, is entertainment. But I hate the fact that my team's not in it, so I can care less.
To me, it's like when you finish a really good book. You know, you have a book and you can't wait to read more and read more and read. Then finally, it's like, oh, it's done. I was really good, but now it's done. Well, you have to find a new book. But I get that way. For me, especially the end of baseball season. I think it's because, you know, summer's over now. But baseball season, the postseason is so long.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little different now.
Well, the NBA is so long. The NBA postseason is super long.
You're right.
I mean, it was three months ago. Felt like we were in the playoffs.
I know. Isn't it funny to think about? You know, next season. Like next season starts around Halloween, and but
before
here we are. I am rooting for the Nuggets. I hope they wrap it up quickly. Did you see what I think it's Brian Costello said today on ESPN. He's on SportsCenter.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. What do you
Absolutely.
think? Who are the biggest threats to the Nuggets in the West next year? Sacramento Kings.
Absolutely. You got to put it in there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where you go with Memphis. Depends on what you think is going to happen with Ja Morant.
Yes.
I'm on record. I think they at least suspend him for half the season, but a lot of people don't see that. You know, a lot of insiders.
I think they have to.
I
would, yeah, to answer your question, for me, it's not. I would say we will review your indefinitely suspended. We will January 5th or whatever. We will review your case, but we may not reinstate you then. But you are suspended until then, and then we'll see.
I like it. I'm with you. I think they should stick it. They should make it stick this time.
They have to, even though they don't want to, right? Because of what he did. When they bent over backwards to look the other way, it's like, all right, you know why this is wrong? Okay, we're fine. And then when he did what he did, I think they have to make an example out of him, so to speak.
Truth. Very true. I think Memphis is going to be, and it's going to go one or two ways for me with Memphis is they're going to fall off because of the Ja situation, or if he has an opportunity, just saying that it's half the season and it's not the whole season and he has an opportunity to come back and play. One of the two things are going to happen for me is Memphis will fall off or Ja will come back and understand that I need to not so much as off the floor, you know, hopefully he corrects that before, but on the floor, I think he's going to have a point to prove. And he's a dangerous guy with the ball in his hand on the court. And he may feel some kind of way. And he might start to say, forget it. I'm going to show why, you know, everybody thought I would be one of the next, you know, people to lead the NBA here the next couple of years. So Memphis is still on the fence for me. I'm not really sold on Phoenix just yet. I mean, you have Kevin Durant, you have Book. I think Ayton's gone.
We don't even know about the rest of them. We don't know about CP3.
Absolutely. The one that's sneaky for me that a lot of people probably aren't looking, but I think if OKC can infuse one other star,
they're definitely on the rise.
You can infuse one other star. And if Chet is solid, and let's just say he has a Blake Griffin type, you know, first year where Blake missed his first year and he comes back, he's a rookie of the year, they're going to be dangerous too. They'll be kind of like the upstart Kings we've seen this year. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I had the opportunity. We got sent at that point in time to go to Summer League with SGA. I liked SGA in college. And I remember sitting there and I was watching him and I said, man, this dude's going to be good. He's going to be legit. And then I got to see him in person 3 or 4 times that week during Summer League. And this sounds bad, but I was like, this dude's going to be the best point guard probably in the league. At one point, I think
you and Jerry West may be the only people who saw that.
And I fought tooth and nail about him being better than De'Aaron Fox. And I still believe it. And that's kind of one of my drawbacks with De'Aaron, you know, is I think he's a 1B. He's not a 1A. I think SGA can be a 1A in the Chris Paul sort of way, a Dame Lillard sort of way. I think Fox has to distribute the ball a little more to be a 1A. And I'm not sure he wants or can do that. That's my drawback with De'Aaron. I think he has to let other people get the ball, get people involved a little more. But I think the Kings need De'Aaron to score so much that it's going to draw back on him distributing the ball.
De'Aaron was like pardon me, but I think he was not originally a point guard. And so there's still part of him that's not
true,
so to speak.
Great point.
And that works in his favor a lot too.
Yes. Yeah. I think SGA is one of those guys. He doesn't, I think it's vice versa. OKC needs him to score a little more. And if Chet comes back, I think it'll allow him to fall back a little more and get back to distributing and scoring. Instead of giving you 28, 29, I'm going to give you 22. But I'm going to throw 11, 12. I'm going to grab 8, 9. Chris Paul. You know, I think he's the new Chris Paul. And he's dangerous. A lot of people forget Chris Paul was dangerous, man. He was very good.
I mean, you're right. He is. A little bit. But yeah. You're right. So, OKC, everybody else, Whitey, man, I'm not really scared. And I know that's not a good thing to say. I don't really know where, Portland's going. Who knows what Zion's going to do in New Orleans? Minnesota doesn't scare me.
Golden State's breaking up.
Maybe. I think they have another year or two.
I don't know if they scare me, but San Antonio and New Orleans are two teams that I'd be very mindful of. And
Very-
I'm with you.
very much.
OKC is a team where, wow, we got to watch out for these guys.
especially because they're on the Kings timeline as well. Yep.
But you mentioned
Golden State
Portland.
still has a year or two. I don't care what nobody says. You got Steph Curry, man. You got a year or two.
I suppose so. Last year they talked about, the punch, our chemistry was terrible. I just don't think they were good enough. And I think to some degree they hid
had the
behind the
talent.
punch.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, it wasn't just, I know that was bad, but they didn't have enough good players.
Well, Whitey, for me, with the Warriors, I'm with you. Exactly. They didn't have enough around the people that they normally, the David Wests, the Sean Livingstons.
Yeah.
Even last year, the Otto Porters, like they didn't have that type of person.
Weissman was supposed to really contribute last year, and so was Kuminga. And they just didn't.
Yep.
We can argue about why they did or didn't, or whether they will or not, but they didn't.
Yep.
And so they weren't as talented as they hoped to be last year. Here's the deal. You mentioned Portland. According to Kevin O'Connor, Portland's interest in building around Lillard is genuine. The front office exploring deals for the number 3 pick, open to moving Anthony
Simons.
Jaylen Brown, Siakam, Bridges would make sense as potential targets via trade. Unclear what level of appetite the Blazers have for that kind of trade. So if I'm running Portland right now, it's time. You look at Dame and how much you're going to have to pay him. 45.6 this year, then 48.7, then 58.5, then 63.2.
That's the one.
You can't build a team around that.
Yeah, that's
He's
the one.
deserved that. Bless him. But I think given that they have the 3 pick and they could draft Scoot, and I'm a little iffy on Scoot, but he's a great prospect. I think it's time for Portland to break it up.
I'm with you. I have a question because we have to break. I'm going to propose this on the opposite side for you about Dame, and definitely it will involve the Kings and it won't involve the Kings. Yeah.
All right. So we got that coming up. Also, of all the surprising Jokic numbers, this may be the most surprising of them all. That's next on Chris & Co. Whitey and JJ, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. We're looking for silver linings in what has been a difficult year for the A's, and perhaps players the A's could build around for the future. What about first baseman Ryan Noda? As I'm recording this, among American League rookies, he's first in walks, he's first in on base at 403, and also third in OPS. Not bad for a Rule 5 selection this past offseason from the Dodgers. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
For over 20 years, the one MMA organization that has put countless legends on the map returns. On Saturday, June 17th, Gold Country Casino presents King of the Cage. Don't miss high-octane cage action with the return of Eric Smith, JJ Torres, Andrew Kirkwood, Junior Gennaro, Angel Banuelos, Chase Miles, and much more. Tickets on sale now at goldcountrycasino.com. Doors open at 6 p.m. Fight card schedule subject to change.
Carmichael Dave here. Spring here. Long, cold, rainy winter behind us. And I know you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioning is working efficiently and safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from my friends at American Energy Heat and Air. Nothing worse than having your AC go out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today to make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or schedule your appointment online like I did last year around this time at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Don't wait till that AC goes out. Call my friends today, 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Players of all abilities will tell you that Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is the area's #1 course for fun. Whether you're a beginner or an accomplished player, Bartley Kavanaugh has something for you. It's a great walking course, but motorized carts are available too. The moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas will add to your satisfaction and smiles for the day. Near the banks of the picturesque Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh features the brand new tap room for all your beverage needs. For tee times, visit bartleycavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources today. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night that Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Well, Cattles and Rami will have all your pregame coverage and a first-quarter breakdown during the last half hour of the show. Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story up right now at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. How about that? There's a reverse boycott scheduled at the Oakland Coliseum tomorrow. The game begins at 6:40. If you arrive early, you can get a free T-shirt in the Kelly Greens that says "Sell." Those are your headlines. Now let's return to Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson here today for Hour 2 of Chris & Co.
All over the NBA Finals, also the upcoming draft and what teams are going to be doing this offseason. Before we get to that, Jay, Kyle just mentioned that the A's have won 5 in a row, which is okay. You know, we've had like rainy weather in June 2 days in a row, and the A's won 5 in a row. Okay, whatever. But I wanted to ask you about this baseball. You know, the games are going really fast now with the pitch clock. The games are going so fast that last week or so, there was a game in Pittsburgh, started about 6:30, and it was a really fast game, and it ended just after it got dark. So if you have that happen later in the year, of course, as the sun goes down later and later, we're going to have night games that actually finish before it's nighttime.
Yes.
Isn't that
strange?
I don't know. Is this good? Or are we maybe does baseball, I never thought I'd say this, does baseball maybe need to slow down just a little bit?
No, man. Look.
Is there flying by?
You know, the thing about it is things change and, all things come to an end. We just talked about it, Whitey, and we're at that point right now. It's time for change, and baseball's finally realized it. We've known this for years. And look, it's just kind of one of those things where we're just going to have to get used to the changes, man. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think I like it.
I'm all for it.
I know there's more injuries to pitchers, which may or may not have anything to do with that. So that's something to keep an eye on.
That's every year, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I know in Philadelphia, the Phillies are saying our pitch clock is faster than other teams, which is really weird.
Technology.
But, yeah, I'm just having to change my rhythms. I was watching a game a couple weeks ago, and it's like, here's the pitch. It's ball. It's 3-2. So my dog is coming in. So I was like, okay, bringing my dog in. And normally I have in my mind, like, all right, I'll bring him in, wipe his feet, make sure he's okay. And then I'll see the pitch. It's like, whoa, he threw it already.
Absolutely.
Boom.
You got to get to it. Why no games is being played out here, brother? It's quick, man. Quick pass in a hurry. Yeah, I like it. I've been a proponent of baseball, of growing up playing baseball all my life. You should be, we should have changed certain things. There are so many different things that we could have changed. I've seen pitchers complain about how many warm-up pitches. And look, come to 5th inning, man, you don't need 8 warm-up pitches. Throw 3, let's move on, let's go. That type of situation. I'm a proponent when I love Nomar Garciaparra. A lot of people hated the fact that he had to do, hit the gloves 2 or 3 times, kick the cleats. He had a routine. I'm all for the routine and the habit. All good. But just as you talked about, just as you have to change your habit, He should have changed it. Well, not him, but players should change their habits too. Instead of taking 5 seconds, make it 3. Cut it down. Make it faster. All these different things to speed the game up. And
it
I'm
does
with
move it along.
Yeah,
it
for
does.
sure.
Yeah. The only scary thing to me is, as I say, with the pitcher's injuries, if you got guys that are still throwing, 100 plus, they need a few more seconds maybe to recover. Maybe. We don't know that yet. And I was reading somewhere that some people thought, hey, with a pitch clock, it'll teach guys like that. Maybe you don't need to throw at max velo every pitch, but guys still are. So again, there's been a lot of injuries, but as you said, there always are. We don't know if it has anything to do with the pitch clock, but it's something to keep an eye on. The game definitely moves right along.
Are you because you've known the game so long at this point that are you not a fan? Is that what I'm hearing?
I was very skeptical of it.
Okay.
Very skeptical, but then I watch it. And I love the fact that I can watch a night game. And I was watching the Angels last week, and it's like I feel like I just settled down. The Angels and Mariners were on MLB TV or something.
Whitey, we've got to get you something to do at night.
I settled down.
The Angels are okay this year.
Ohtani, I turn it on, and it's like, and I'm watching the game. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, and I'm like, what? What? So that's a good thing because I feel like I'm getting to see more baseball.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, well, first thing first is I get what you guys are talking about, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, but I mean, why are you watching Angels?
Because, it was either that or watch the LA Sparks and the Seattle Storm.
Okay, why would you be watching that either?
Look, Whitey's a real baseball fan. I've learned this. He's watching the Pirates and the Brewers on a Wednesday afternoon.
I've been watching so much basketball, which I love. I feel like I'm behind on baseball. That's how I feel.
I like that, Whitey. I'm a huge baseball guy. Most people can't watch a baseball game. Growing up playing, moving on to college and all those other things. They're so surprised. You play baseball? What? You play baseball?
Why would you do that?
Yes, I love baseball. And I love watching baseball. I can go watch Little League right now. If I'm riding by, I have some, friends, nephews, people who play, I go watch their games. I love watching baseball. I like to see, how a person takes a ground ball, pitching, the mental part of the game. I love baseball, but I can understand how people watching it find it boring because it's not constant action. Where someone who's been entrenched in the game for years or someone who's watched it as a fan played, you have that mentality of being entrenched in the game. Most people right now, if it's not in front of your face, they don't watch it. It's microwavable right now. 2 minutes, and I'm not watching 2 minutes unless it's something I like that I absolutely love. Most people, they're done. That's why basketball and I continue to argue this all the time for football. Football is king because betting. It's the only reason why. And fantasy, money, betting, they're all in one circle. That's why football is king.
Yeah, it's funny because some people say, football's not boring, baseball's boring, and basketball's boring except the last 2 minutes.
Please.
But football, and I love all of them.
Yeah.
But a bad football game, 2 bad teams, football's really boring when it's not played well, like any other sport. Yeah. But to your point, you were an infielder?
Infielder, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was at a
moving
game with
on
my
every
daughter.
Every play, every pitch.
My daughter, Lonnie, she teaches at Sac State, but when she was little, we were at a ball game, and I said, watch this. And I showed her, okay, there's a man on first. Watch the shortstop before every pitch. He's going to show the second baseman. He's going to put the glove up to his mouth and show him with his mouth open and closed.
Has the bag.
Who's covering second. And she watched it. She goes, that's so cool. Right. And so those are the little things that if you know what to look for, I don't know, they're kind of cool.
But I'll say this, and this is my argument to football fans and everybody that argues this. If football is so great, the sport of football, let's remove the NFL, then why the XFL, USFL, why nobody's watching that? Why no one watches Canadian Football League? Why is no one watching Arena Football League? And that's the argument is, no, you're only entrenched in the NFL because a fantasy team and you get to lay money down. That's it. No one's watching the USFL. No one's watching the XFL. They report. Well, you're a sports guy, Whitey, at this point. And we have to find something for you to do. Okay.
If there's no baseball, I'll check out the
USFL.
the
Angels are 36-31 this year.
Stop trying to sell me the Angels.
You're wrong on the Halos.
Come on now.
They're must-see TV.
Come on, I guess. But the XFL, they just reported they lost $60 million this year.
I know. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care.
Right. So, but that's my thing. Yeah, so before people come and say, well, baseball's boring, then watch the XFL then. Watch the USFL. Stop lying to yourself.
Right.
You're only entrenched in the NFL because you get to have a fantasy team, and you're probably laying some ducats on that, and you get to lay some bread every weekend. That's it.
Yeah. The other thing is football. Let's go NFL here. Every game is an event, whether it's Sundays typically or whether it's a Monday night or Thursday. When you're following your team, say it's 49ers, here the 49ers here on Sactown Sports this year, every game is an event. So I got my life, I got to go to a job, I got this, I got kids, and we got a game Thursday. And baseball is like there's just so many games that sometimes you're just too busy to keep track. And I think that works in football's favor. It's just easier to gear up for it. There's a game this week. Every game is an event
because it
matters. A week. Yeah. So it's a little easier to get behind.
I still say because people are more personally entrenched in the fact that they have
I agree.
themselves tied to players and their own pocket.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's all
I understand what you're saying.
Big NFL dominant football.
Okay, so then let me ask you this then, Whitey. If that's the case, the NFL now has become to the point where it's all year round. You got Hard Knocks, you got the draft, you have the combine.
We don't know who's going to be on Hard Knocks yet, by the way.
Yes, down to 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that down the road too today, because I'm interested to get your take on that. But it's all year round. They shove it in your face. We have to watch guys run around in tight shorts and a tee at the combine. I could care less, but people
You're watching that
love
still,
it.
Angel games? Okay.
No, I'm not watching it either. I'm doing something else.
Okay.
And that's my thing is NFL fans, football fans, they'll argue that. They're tied to the draft. They're tied to the combine. They're tied to Hard Knocks. They're tied to mini camp and OTAs. I don't care about none of that stuff. No. Like when training camp comes around, then talk to me, right? But NFL fans, they fire off on that. When you say, well, wait a minute, you'll rather talk about mini camp, about a rookie camp over games that count for baseball? And people are like, oh man, baseball it's so boring. I can't do. Okay, but rookie camp is exciting.
There's nothing going on there. Yeah, you're right. Nothing going on.
Rookie camp
People
is
get
exciting.
so excited at the NFL draft. And we love the draft. We're looking for the NBA draft. And the draft is very interesting. But the NFL draft, people go nuts because their team picks some tackle in the 5th round.
Come on.
From Arkansas.
Part of that is the NFL's got like 2.5 months to sell you on the draft in between, while the NBA's only got 2 weeks.
You're right. But some of those people have no idea who or what they're cheering for. But it's just like, yeah, my team drafted who? Yeah, whatever they drafted him. Yeah. It's strange.
It even falls down
it's
to
like a cult.
It is. And that's when I have the arguments, when I have the, the discussions, because it turns into arguments of why baseball's so boring because of this, or it takes too long, or okay, now that it's being shorter, you just said it, Whitey, we're coming down to what the average game is 2 hours and I believe 34 minutes last time I looked, something of that nature. And now that's pretty much on par for football. On top of football, you got a break in between.
Football's longer. I think football is more like 3.
Which is crazy because, and I've always argued this, people accept stoppages, breaks in football, but baseball continuously goes on. I'm bored. We're putting out artists and song and music and dance and people out there spinning plates on top of their head during halftime. And you'd rather still like that than baseball?
I know.
It's been a long discussion that I had for years. But I always go back to the point. If that's the case, if people are such just football fans, watch the XFL then. Watch the USFL.
But it's also, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's also baseball's fault for not doing a better job of teaching people this is what's cool about the game. Instead, they're trying to take some of the essential aspects of baseball out of it to make it more appealing, in which case, do you even like baseball? So I think that's been a problem.
Very true. I agree. The mic on the player should have happened earlier.
Yeah.
Like those have been some of the great things over the last couple of years. The speed of the game. The other part too, and this is another thing, is they do a bad job pumping their players.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
Absolutely. Coming up, more on the NBA Finals. Jokic, some numbers on him that are surprising, even though that's all we've been talking about are surprising Jokic numbers. You had a question for me about Dame Lillard, right? Yeah, that's coming up next. Chris and Co., Whitey and JJ, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The annual Father's Day sale is on at Work World. For all the dads who show us the meaning of hard work, you keep our families and communities strong. Right now, Work World has unbeatable deals on high-quality work boots and workwear with brands like Timberland Pro, built for the bold. Timberland Pro work boots will help keep dads safe and comfortable all day on the job. Find our full selection of Timberland Pro and more gifts for hardworking dads during the Father's Day sale at your local Work World store and workworld.com.
Sitting at your desk? Watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Didn't expect this today. Thanks for being with us. It's Chris and Company, Whitey Gleason, and JJ today. This now has evolved into a YouTube chat debate about football versus baseball.
Of course. It happens all the time. I said.
Baseball has no chance, though. I love baseball, but as far as that debate, today's America, baseball has no chance.
I agree. Right? To a point, I'm asking, if baseball, because I've gotten this all my life, baseball is so boring to watch. That's what I get. But most people, once we have a discussion and I break certain things down, most people relegate to saying, okay, this baseball, when I played it, no matter if it was in gym in class or whatever, was always fun. But watching it is not. And so my question to people who always talk about football. Now, you have some people who like other things. Some people going to argue golf. Golf is drop dead boring to me. I've never played around a golf. I've never wanted to play around a golf. I can't stand watching golf. You know,
I like golf and I like to play it and I like the majors. But one time golf was on the TV and I think somebody in the house was listening to an easy music station. Mm-hmm. So golf on TV, easy music station. I lapsed into
relaxation.
That's right. I was actually in a medically induced coma for a short time. Luckily, a short time, but it was like, whoa, what happened to Dad?
Boy, put the sniffing salts under the nostrils.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, yeah. But that's my point is when we get into this discussion, if you are such a football fan, do you watch college as well? Do you watch the XFL? Do you watch all these people that's on YouTube or the text line? Mm-hmm. Give me your Arena Football League team right now.
Arena Football League?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Show me who's the fan of what fan are you of the Arena Football League? Tell me your USFL team that you're a fan of. What college football games have you ever attended? Like, those are my conversations that I talk to when we talk about football. No, you care about the NFL, which is just what you said, Whitey. Yeah. It's become so much of a following.
Which is legit.
Yeah. Which is fine. Yeah. I get it. There's nothing against that. I'm just saying, when you have the discussion, let's really break it down. Why are you really watching the NFL? Most of the time, people who don't even have teams, they're still entrenched in the NFL because of fantasy. Because they're personally tied to something that's going on every weekend. Mm-hmm. The argument I've gotten for years is just what you said. It's an event. It's something once a week. It gives me something to look forward to, right? It's a milestone, so to say. It's a birthday. It's a wedding. It's that type of situation, right?
Yeah.
So then I always go vice versa. I throw this at people. If that's the case, why you don't like boxing? because it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You can also, and then most people, good teams play each other. Most great boxers don't fight but great boxers. Nah, that's not always happening. I could pick out 8 games every week that's trash. No one cares about. I'm not watching the Jacksonville Jags play the Denver Broncos. That's trash. The only reason why you're tied to that is you're either from Denver, from Jacksonville, or you have fantasy people playing. You have people playing on that team who's part of your team, a personal touch, and or you've laid money on a parlay. You've laid money down on a game. You've laid your personal earnings down on something. No one sits around and watches the New Orleans Saints and watch the Seattle Seahawks if you're not a fan of those or you don't have a personal to it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this along these lines of popularity of teams, players, sports. Do you think, I think Dan Lebitard said this last week, and I think I agree with him. He said Jokic would be more popular if he was American.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because he just, for a lot of people, not everyone, of course, but for a lot of people, he'd just be more relatable, right?
Absolutely. Which is the same thing I put on one of our things is Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
Djokovic. Why is he not getting all the praise today? No one's talking about that for the most part. Right now, we're watching. We have ESPN and ESPN2 on, and both of them are talking about Saquon Barkley and a $10 million franchise tag. Djokovic just broke a record.
Tennis lost touch with the people in the 70s.
Yes.
Probably, I know you're younger than me,
okay.
But in the 70s, tennis with guys like, not guys, but like Jimmy Connors, Bjorn Borg, and like Billie Jean King, it resonated with the public. And now tennis is more of an elitist country club than it ever was before. And you drive, there used to be in the 70s, you know this, there were tennis courts, people were actually playing tennis.
Yeah.
And now there are certain areas of town where they are, but you go by a city park, and as often as not, the tennis courts, the net's gone, and there's just cracks with weeds growing.
And the dog is running around like a dog park.
Yes,
100%.
Yes.
But part of that, too, is there aren't American stars. There aren't U.S.-born stars. There's no Agassi, no Pete Sampras, no Michael Chang. Those guys are gone, right? No Andy Roddick, who didn't succeed in doing with a James Blake. These type of people, they're gone. And it's the same thing, and it's interesting because when you take that route, we start to look at golf. Well, it's an elitist sport for the most part. It's very expensive to play. Very, very. Every single time you go out and play golf, you're spending money.
Oh, a lot of money.
One way or
takes
another.
A lot of time, too.
Absolutely. But people seem to love it. It's not a top sport, but it's always festering. And it could be the Tiger Woods thing, right? It could be Tiger Woods, the Tiger Woods effect, so to say,
which is waning. But it was, he was hugely influential.
Couldn't people say the same thing about the Serena Williams effect? Is that's kind of waning from tennis, and as Federer retires and Nadal, that there just isn't a name people associate with sport?
I like tennis, and I used to do stuff for the Capitals, a team tennis team out here, but it's just not as mainstream, not nearly as mainstream as even it used to be
here in America.
Yeah.
And again, my part is because we don't have the American stars to get behind, right? Coco Gauff, Osaka, who's taking her time away for children, family, for family and personal reasons. Naomi Osaka, like those are the people that, even though she wasn't so much as, Osaka isn't so much as tied to America, she's very relatable here, right? She has a celebrity boyfriend who's an artist, a rapper, so she has some things that people look. And the part of it is she's very relatable. One thing about tennis is, just as you talk about, and Kyle, you talk about Serena and Venus and, those type, Jennifer Capriati, all these different people, they're very relatable to, to the public. Tiger Woods, when it comes to, and this sounds crazy because they're not relatable as financially, but they've the upbringing.
Well, that's the Steph Curry illusion, to the point, if I may, if I understood you right. Steph Curry, we're nothing like him.
No.
He's an elite athlete, but because he's smaller than most basketball players and he shoots jump shots rather than dunks, we think, I can do that. I made a shot behind my garbage can in the driveway yesterday. oh, and Steph Curry's a little guy. Yeah, I'm kind of like him. Well, you're not, but it just seems that way.
Relatable.
And he becomes more popular.
Absolutely. And that's part of it. And so that's why I say, you know, the argument to it is when it comes to football, we're right now, this very moment, as we looked up, they're talking about Saquon Barkley in the offseason. It was franchise tag, right? That was the thing we had just looked at. But Novak Djokovic just broke a record, and no one really is talking about it here in America. Why? Because it's not relatable. They're not personally attached to it.
Right.
The NFL, most people are personally attached to it because they go out, they get their money, they come back, and they put their hard-earned money into what's going on, and they put their time, fantasy. And that's why people love the NFL. There's some terrible, boring games, man. There are terrible games every week.
Yeah. Hopefully we will get an exciting game tonight, game 5. And as promised, a Jokic number. Even you thought, I've heard all the Jokic numbers. This one will really surprise you. Next, Chris and Company, Whitey and JJ, Sactown Sports.
It's Kettles and Rami.
You don't need more than 8 bowls in your house at any particular time. And if you're having more people than that, just bust out the paper and plastic.
The use of paper plates in the last week in the household has grown exponentially.
Doesn't it happen that way when the wife was away? Yeah. Every time my mom would go out of town, and my dad would act like he just figured out how to split an atom. He'd be like, I have a great idea. While your mother is out of town, why don't we just use paper plates?
Kettles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Monday forecast is looking partly cloudy. Could even have a stray shower in the valley, but the best activity in terms of thunderstorms will be in the foothills and the Sierra. Expect afternoon highs in the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
A nice warm shower is not so nice if it doesn't drain like it should. Well, let's fix that right now. Get a sewer inspection, including mainline drain cabling and video analysis, just $97. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
Guys, did you know that June is Men's Health Month? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your hormones are serious business, and most men start to see changes in their hormone levels starting in their 30s. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Get your T levels checked today by a local, experienced, and trusted healthcare professional. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men since 2011. Experience and results matter. So, what are you waiting for? Call Revive today to schedule your free testosterone test and free exam. We know we can help you. We guarantee it. Celebrate Men's Health Month. Get your free T-level test and save $199. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Being a letter carrier and walking 20,000 steps, which equals up to about 10 miles a day, it's tough. I really didn't have feet problems. I had back problems. I had had as many epidurals that I could possibly have in 1 year. That was scary. Well, I've been delivering letters to the Good Feet store for over 6 years, and the expert there finally convinced me to try their arch supports.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Keith actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
The people at the Good Feet store really educated me about what the arch supports could actually do. And lo and behold, I have no more back problems. The future I can see now. I couldn't see it before. Where I would be without them, I have no clue. I'm Keith, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. It's Thunder Valley's $20,000 20th anniversary cash giveaway. 5 winners on Friday and Saturday nights in June. One very lucky guest wins $20,000 guaranteed. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Cattles and Rami will have your pregame coverage as well as a first quarter breakdown during the last half hour of their show. The Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story up right now at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. The A's can make the AL wildcard if they win 73 of their last 95 games, which would be 35 games better than the current pace of the Tampa Bay Rays. Those are your headlines. Now let's return to Whitey, Gleason, and Jay Johnson today on Chris and Company.
Jay, what do you do when someone has been drinking on the job, as Kyle clearly has been? Because he said the A's have won 5 in a row. Do I report him? Do I? What? I mean, what's the proper
fact
course
check
of
first, I
action?
guess.
That's incredible, man.
Fact check first, buddy.
Yeah. How about those swinging A's, hottest team in baseball?
Only 1 game behind the Royals for worst record in baseball now.
How about that? That's progress. We got Game 5 of the Finals tonight. I mentioned a Jokic number that would surprise you. Obviously, it's harder and harder to find those because he's putting up all these incredible triple-double numbers, and it's kind of been the theme that Jokic is better than you think. Like, everybody says that. You know, at some point, Jay, it becomes, look, I know he's really good. You know, I'm not surprised anymore. But this did surprise me. The one thing that people criticize Jokic for is he doesn't defend very well. You know, he's actually a pretty solid defender. He's not great, and he doesn't have the physical gifts to be a super one-on-one defender, but he's a smart defender. And I saw this today. In every one of his seasons except one for his career, in every one of his seasons except one, Denver's been a better defensive team with him on the floor than off the floor. So guess what? He's really not a terrible defender.
He's a good team defender is what you're telling me.
He is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I get it. I mean, the dude's a 2-time MVP. No matter if you like it, if you hate him, if you love him.
Should have been 3,
in
my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, should have been, could have been, would have been. There's a lot of those there.
You're right.
But
they didn't want the voters like, well, he's not good enough to get 3 in a row. Well, if he deserved it, he should have got it. But anyway, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's I guess my question to you with that notation, with that stat is what are we trying to? Are you trying to disperse the idea that Jokic has a weakness?
Well, here's the thing. The yeah buts are running out of things to say. You know, the yeah buts are, we used to hear the yabbits all the time on Steph Curry. Steph Curry and the Warriors won another title. Yeah, but he's, you know what? He's not Kobe. Or yeah, but he never won a Finals MVP award. Last year, Game 4, and he's not my favorite player or anything, but I've had a chance to see him a lot. And he's incredible. Last year in the Finals, Game 4, when Boston was about to grab a stranglehold on the Finals, they were leading 2-1. It was in Boston, and they were up 10 in the fourth quarter. And Steph Curry said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And he did what all the yabbits said he couldn't do. He put the team on his shoulder, and he carried him not only to that win, but the rest of the way. And he won the NBA Finals MVP award. So the yabbits all of a sudden is like, well, I don't have anything now.
Yeah.
So right now with Jokic, a lot of the yabbits are, but defensively, ugh. Well, it's not quite true. That's all I'm saying. The yabbits are running out of things to say about Jokic.
I got you. I'm with you. I mean, I'm not a but guy on Jokic. I think he's a great ball player. I get what you're saying. The Steph part of it, I loved, what they going to say now?
Yeah.
That's what they kept saying last year, right?
Quiet. Yeah.
What they going to say now? They said that all after they won a championship. That was kind of their mantra, their slogan. And I think Jokic, we're going to hear that from Jokic as well. At what point you said I didn't have a championship, probably getting ready to have that. I've got the MVPs. I would imagine he wins Finals MVP unless it's Jamal Murray. But I mean, kind of out of respect, I think they're just going to give it to Jokic. Even if Jamal Murray goes for 60 tonight, I still think they give it to Jokic just to make it look better.
You know who else is a fringe candidate? And I'm not saying he should get it, but
sure,
Aaron Gordon.
I know Aaron Gordon's been balling, man.
Put up 17 points in the second quarter on Friday.
He's been a matchup nightmare for the Heat.
Aaron Gordon was the guy that I thought might have started to decline. He had a couple of injuries 2 years ago, and of course on Orlando, he just couldn't stay healthy. But he always had the upside of being pretty good, above average.
Yes.
And he was drafted, I believe, 4th above average. And I have to go back and look that up. But he was drafted to be, one of those guys in Orlando. And they just couldn't grasp it, just couldn't figure it out. His look was he was a dunk guy. He could jump, he could leap. He had been cheated out of the dunk competitions a couple of years.
Exactly.
But he's become quietly a guy who can probably give you about 18 and 8 every night at the height of what he can do. And if you can do that for a handful of years, 5, 6, 7 years, you're going to make some good coin. You're going to be probably on some great teams, maybe a championship team or two, and start to put yourself, because he had a good college career,
Yeah.
Start to put yourself in the conversation of, man, that dude was better than we kind of, thought of him at that time.
Try this on, if you would. Go ahead.
No, and then the finality of that, Whitey, and I know I'm speaking way out of pocket because, he doesn't have that on his resume yet. But I'm just saying, if he can sustain a handful of years, win a championship too, maybe with Denver, we've known him as kind of a guy to go dunk and, that type of thing. Once you start to look back, it's like, he's got a career that we might have to start to think about putting him somewhere, In
a roundabout way, he reminds me of, bear with me here, because they're not on the surface similar, but circumstance-wise, he reminds me of Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins drafted by Minnesota to be the man.
That guy.
Orlando drafted Aaron
Cleveland,
Gordon to be the man.
Cleveland.
Yeah, but then he ended up, you're right. And then he got traded with everything went on with LeBron and Kevin Love. So you're right. Yeah, thanks for the correction. And in Minnesota, Wiggins would have his moments. Like you said, 18 and 8. That's a good example. If he was 18 and 8 in Minnesota, it's like, that's not good enough. But then he goes to the Warriors, where now it's like 18 and 8. It's like, nice job. He doesn't have to be that guy.
Yes.
And similar with Aaron Gordon. He's got Jokic now, and he's got Porter. Actually, he's got Jamal Murray as his teammates. So if he has a game at 18 and 8, it's like, whoa, that really helps us. Both really good players, just not quite good enough to be what the teams that had them early in their careers needed them to be.
Yes.
And that's fine. They're really good players.
Yes. I think Andrew's going to have more upside.
I agree.
But
he's more skilled. He's probably a better player. Yeah.
When I think about it, And let's just say he does some kind of way.
Was a number one pick.
Yes, he was. A lot was supposed to be on his shoulders where Aaron Gordon, wasn't. But, I mean, he was supposed to be that guy for Orlando and came out after 1 year. I had to look. He's only 27, man.
Wow.
He's been in the league since 2014, though. He's 27.
You mentioned Wiggins. They were the same draft class. Gordon was 3 picks after Wiggins.
Yes.
About that, yeah.
And it's interesting. You go back and look because it is and again, I'm way out in front. Understand me. I'm way out in front. He put up 23 points, 12 rebounds. He put up 20 points at Arizona. All-American, all Pac-12, McDonald's All-American. So he's got all the amateur stuff locked up. There it was. Most people believe he should have won a slam dunk competition. So, that's going to stick in the mind of he didn't get that, kind of like what I said about Jokic. He didn't get that dunk competition. Okay, well, maybe we'll help him out somewhere along the line during his career. Now he's got a solid finals, playoff run. They win a championship. Let's just say they get 2 within his career. And he has that career, and I got to go and see what he's career average. But let's just say he's close to that 18-8 type situation, which I'm pretty sure he's got to be pretty close. I would imagine he's got to be at least 14, 15 points a game. That's not going to get it done. But if you push it up a little bit, you have to start to look at the career of where a person is. Now, I like where you went with Andrew Wiggins because I think he's going to be more closer. Aaron Gordon's got a lot of work to do, of course. I think Wiggins has shown that he can be last year in the finals. I mean, he almost snatched the finals MVP from Steph Curry. I think Wiggins is going to have
snatched Luka's self-respect with that dunk over. Like you said about reaching into a guy's heart, pulling out his chest.
Take it out. Yeah.
Here you go, Luka.
Yeah.
To answer your question, too, he's 16.3 points a game this year. His career high in Orlando was 17.6 in 2018.
Yeah, see, he's got to push it up a little bit. So that means about 13. So he needs some more points. He needs to put a few more points.
You talking like Hall of Fame or something?
I'm just saying now, Whitey.
Aaron Gordon?
I'm just
Maybe
saying,
make an
Whitey.
all-star team.
You got to push it up a little bit. But see, I like where you went with Andrew Wiggins because he's got an all-star under his belt. He's got a championship. He's played well over the last couple of seasons. He's been a part of the Warriors now. He was the number 1. He's got all the amateur stuff. It's starting to get a little closer to where you can't deny certain things.
They just both benefited greatly from not having to be the guy anymore.
Yes, for sure, Andrew Wiggins.
They both of them have been flourishing.
For sure, Andrew Wiggins. Aaron Gordon's got to add some things to it. But if he can, which I'm not sure, he's got to pull up that average quite a bit. And he needs a run of a couple of the championships here, too, for Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a part of that.
Coming up next, did you see what happened to Victor Wembanyama over the weekend?
A little bit.
Tell you why he's hoping you didn't see that. Next, he's JJ. I'm Whitey. This is Chris and Company, Sactown Sports.
The Kings season might be over, but Sactown Sports coverage never stops.
I feel like we grew a lot during this playoff series with our defense, and if we can sustain that during the year, that's going to help us a lot.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and, and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, AutoZone is here to help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
What if I need a new one?
We have the right batteries right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone.
And what if I don't know how to connect it?
No problem. We have a how-to for you at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is a celebrity pro-am golf tournament, $1 million hole-in-one contest, a skins game, a celebrity draft party, and a concert featuring the Atlanta Rhythm Section. The Gold Rush Classic raises money for Make-A-Wish, Jordan's Guardian Angels, First Tee of Sacramento, Rancho Murrieta Youth Sports, and other worthwhile children's charities. The Gold Rush Classic takes place July 13th and 14th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun, raise money for charity, and play golf with a celebrity like Barnes, Fernandez, Jackson, Lloyd, Merriweather, Ostertag, or our own Gregg Vaughn. Sponsorships are available at goldrushclassic.org. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is sponsored by Chase Armor at Planned Solutions and Folsom Lake Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. One-stop Honda shop.
Everyone knows that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers. And that's especially true when it comes to your air conditioning system.
A precision tune-up and professional cleaning costs a little bit up front, just $87, but will prevent much bigger, more expensive, and inconvenient problems later.
We actually replace systems all the time from people who don't get annual tune-ups. They either forget or they just don't realize it's important. So instead of their systems lasting 12 or more years like they should, they need to be replaced in just 6 or 7 years.
Don't risk it. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Call Bell Brothers for an $87 air conditioner precision tune-up today and keep your system clean, energy efficient, and in good working shape.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
No surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
The City of Sacramento offers rebates to help with your outdoor water saving projects this season. Rebates are available for landscape conversions, smart controllers, and irrigation upgrades that improve your water efficiency. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Jay Johnson, Whitey, Gleason today on Chris and Company. We've been talking about sports, the entertainment quotient, why some games, some teams are considered boring. And I think we touched on the Spurs, right, JJ? There was a time when the Spurs, even though the Spurs, well, it was spread out. They won, 5 championships between 99 and 2014. But during that period, even though they played some excellent basketball, they were considered by a lot of people boring. So do you think next year Wembanyama, when he's with the Spurs, will they be considered boring just because he's on the Spurs?
No, it'll be the opposite. He's something new. He's a new shiny toy.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to watch. They'll have some national games, even though no one can name half the other part of the team, Keldon Johnsons and guys like that.
Johnson's good.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Yeah,
Sohan, yeah. But, see,
they
again,
can make some moves. Just think if they got Chris Paul.
CP not going. CP said he's trying to win a championship.
I know that.
He's got 2 or 3 left, right? I couldn't see him going that way, but he would work perfect. But no, to answer your question, Whitey, the Spurs are going to they're going to be like the Pelicans were a couple years ago. They're going to jump straight to the front of the line. We're going to have to sit down and stomach, 10 national Spurs games and Pop being short on the sideline.
Wow, you're not really looking forward to that.
No, I'm not, man. Whatever. One thing, and this is completely off the rails.
Go to the California Classic to see him?
I don't think he plays. I don't think he plays at all. I just don't see why he would play. I think they debut him in Las Vegas. Yeah. I don't know why. And put it this way. Unless a national network picks it up, he'll play. If they don't, they won't. If it's just on NBA TV like it normally is, I don't think he plays.
Okay.
Real quick, Whitey, you touched me. Are you a Gregg Popovich fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
This is off the rails real fast. We'll double back to what you.
I know people I respect a lot who aren't necessarily. I mean, I'm talking about fans, media, not like people actually in basketball.
Sure. That was going to be my question. I like the fact that he's snarky. He's snarky and short, but sometimes it's like somebody got to challenge him. Get back at him. I don't know why people run and tuck tail with Gregg Popovich. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming as we started this show of Bobby Jackson. Sometimes, let me say this: there's not many things that I'm afraid of, and it definitely ain't Gregg Popovich, right? And so I don't understand why people don't jump right back at Pop. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You get kicked out of the PC, the press conference. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
They too many times people bow down to Gregg Popovich, and I think that's part of the Spurs lore too. To get back to the Spurs conversation, Wembanyama is going to be very interesting to see how he plays with, because from everything that I've seen, Wembanyama, unlike most of the Spurs past stars, he seems to be kind of outspoken a little bit. He likes to have fun. He seems to be more entertaining, and not so much as in-house. I think he wants to do it out-house, meaning he wants to do it in the media. He wants to sign a shoe deal. He wants to be, part of the Sprite commercials. You go back and look at a lot of the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan. We heard about all the great stuff in-house, but they don't really expose their hand outside of it, throughout the media and all those type of things. I think Wembanyama, and depending on who his team is, his PR team, his family and all of the circle he has around him, they would be almost a fool not to be signing this guy up to, endorsements and different places and that type of stuff. It's going to be super interesting to see how Popovich and the Spurs handle that compared to, I think it's been almost perfect. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure people have come near. I've heard Steven Jackson talk about you kind of got to fall under the umbrella a little bit. And
sure,
but this the difference now, what he did. And the reason why, because they were good.
Yeah.
They're not right now.
Right.
They're okay. They're average. They're on the uptick. Wembanyama's going to be the leader. And if the leader kind of wants to be out there and outspoken a la Giannis, does the Spurs and Popovich allow that to happen?
The other thing that's different, too, is everyone other than Popovich is new. I mean, some people have been through the organization and stuff, but the structure of the organization outside Popovich has completely changed over the last 6 years.
Yeah, so it's harder to maintain that thread of the culture throughout that when you have all new people. Couple of quick things on Pop. Neither here nor there. He doesn't need me to defend him, and I understand what you're saying. Jerry
gets away with too much.
Jerry Reynolds went to a game this year. He didn't go out to a lot of games these days. And the way I understand it, a friend of his said, let's go out to the game. And it was a Spurs game. And so Jerry was there, and he's just, as far as he knows, he's just at the game. And they made a thing of, they showed him on, the scoreboard, the video board, and everyone cheered for him, and which he said, he had no idea what was going to happen. And they were playing the Spurs. So Pop, when he saw that, Pop came down to where Jerry was sitting and waved to him. And that's really cool. Yeah.
Got to show respect to the legend, man.
But when the Warriors were playing the Spurs, and they played them in the Alamo Dome this past season to honor whatever year it was, the anniversary of the Spurs being in San Antonio.
50-year anniversary.
Yes, because they came in, they were the Dallas Chaparrals. Anyway, they had a bunch of stuff going on because Steve Kerr was there, and Pop was there, and Tom Tolbert was doing the TV because Tom Tolbert, I guess, used to play for the Warriors when Pop was one of the assistant coaches. So he's doing the interview with Pop, which, as you say, a lot of times Pop's very brusque. This actually happened because I saw this. Tom Tolbert asks Gregg Popovich, what is your favorite sea creature?
Okay.
And Popovich says, the sea otter.
The sea otter?
He doesn't go, whoa, he just says, sea otter. And Tom Tolbert says, do you like the way they roll around in the seaweed? And Popovich says, that's the best part. I could not believe what I was seeing. Yeah. So that was obviously a different side of Pop that he, showed to a guy that he used to coach as opposed to some media member that he doesn't perhaps have as much respect or patience for.
Well, that's the thing is, I believe, and this is my thing with the Popovich. I don't have no problem with Popovich.
We could probably find that. Yeah.
Is understandable. This gentleman has been in the game for so long that he's earned his respect. He's a legend.
Yes.
I do believe there is a level to everything. There's a level to absolutely everything in life. You don't approach Gregg Popovich as you approach Jay. I get it. No problem. But there is a point to where they allow him to get away with too much for me. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
To each to everybody's own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I'm going to push back on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give me something, doesn't mean nothing, because one thing about it is we're still men. We're still people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is you can say anything and you can be stern and you can kick back some smart stuff. I'm going to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Here are the numbers on Victor Wembanyama. His team, Metropolitans 92, they're in the LNB Pro A Finals. They played Monaco. Monaco's a really good team with some former NBA players. Game 1 of the best of 5 finals. Monaco 87.
Jumped on them boys, Whitey.
Metropolitans 92, 64. Wembanyama finished with 8 points, and that was including scoring 4 late in the game after it was already decided. This is his second time this year that Monaco has held Victor Wembanyama to 8 points with a lot of physical traps and blitzes and whatever they did to him. I think NBA teams are going to be throwing a lot of that at him too. So struggled mightily in a big game for him. A big game.
Yeah. Well, look, it's
a big game.
It's one. It's only one. And we'll see how he bounces back.
He's not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At least not yet.
Attaboy.
Okay.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Coming up next, speaking of the NBA, and we got finals tonight resuming. The Heat are hoping Game 5 goes better for them than Game 4 did for their mascot, Bernie. Have you heard his sad tale? We have that for you next on Chris and Company, Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040. That's 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night that Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Well, Cattles and Rami will have a pregame coverage as well as a first quarter breakdown in the last half hour of their show. Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. How about that? Tomorrow, there's a reverse boycott scheduled at the Oakland Coliseum. If you show up early, you can get a Kelly Green t-shirt with the word "sell" across the chest. Those are your headlines. Now let's return to Hour 3 of Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson on Chris and Company.
NBA Finals resuming tonight, Game 5. Have you ever seen the old video, and fortunately he's fine and everything worked out, of Rocky, the Nuggets mascot, who years ago, I think it was opening night, he was descending on a rope from the ceiling of the arena. Did you see that?
And he passed out?
He passed out, so his limp body was lowered to the floor. Well, the guy in the Heat mascot suit had a rough episode during Game 4 of the Finals. So, as I said, the Heat hoping Game 5 goes better for them than Game 4 did for their mascot. 7:35 left in the third quarter. The Nuggets had strung together 3 straight buckets, so they were up 10. So in the arena, there's this sense of, this thing is slipping away. And that was when, for some reason, when they decided to have a little skit and promotion at center court with, it was Conor McGregor. He has a new pain relief spray. So part of this bit was Conor McGregor getting in a fake fight with Bernie, the Heat's mascot. And Bernie was wearing a boxing robe and giant gold boxing gloves. And McGregor, I don't know if you've seen the video. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. McGregor punched him and knocked him out as part of the skit, but at least he hit him twice really hard. At least one of the punches, he apparently really connected with the guy inside the suit.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Which one do you think? The first one, or was it the second one when Bernie was on the ground?
On the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that first one. You got put on the floor.
Uh-huh.
But look, that's the that's the drawbacks of the job there, Whitey. You shouldn't be going toe-to-toe with Conor McGregor. But if you have to, let him know, man, look.
It's hard to watch.
It is. It is. But Conor's...
The guy had to go to the hospital.
Conor's over the top with everything.
Yeah.
Conor doesn't do anything easy. Everything that he does is over the top.
And then as they're dragging off the limp form of Bernie, and it turns out he really was in pain and they had to take him to the hospital, McGregor, because remember, this is to promote his pain relief spray. He's spraying the guy with his pain relief spray as they drag him off. And it turns out, according to a leaked source, the man was given pain medication by the doctor and has since been sent home and is doing well, which sounds like maybe a euphemism for a concussion. I don't know. I hope not.
Well, listen, anytime you anytime you go toe-to-toe and tussle with Conor McGregor, you just have an opportunity to get laid on the floor.
But don't you
fake
figure
or not?
This is fake. I'm a mascot. So you're either going to swing and miss, or maybe McGregor thought, oh, he's in a costume. He can't feel anything, right? Because, like people go to Disneyland, they actually stick pins in the costumes of the people.
Really?
Yeah. And the people inside are like, you wouldn't believe it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I guess you
Wow.
see somebody in costume, you think, oh, they're impervious to pain. I don't know. I don't know what happened, except the guy is lucky that he wasn't hurt worse.
Yeah, well, again, that's the drawbacks of the job. If you have to go out there and tussle with Conor McGregor over some pain relief spray, over some whatever. I didn't even take the time to look at what Conor's spray is called.
I didn't either.
Let me see. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
But if that's if that's what you have to do, and that's part of your job, then maybe again, when you're talking about Conor McGregor, it's never easy.
You're saying you should ask questions.
You better make sure.
Hey, whoa.
You better make sure, because Conor is that type of guy. TIDL sport is what it's called. Yeah. Title sport. There you go.
All right.
Launches in it.
Do you think that's an effective promotion for the product or not?
Well, you're going to have a lot of eyes on it. And look, now we're talking about it. So it was
true.
effective. It was effective for him.
Yeah.
Gonna be something good. Also, shout out to our friend Sam Amick for breaking the story.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Eric Spoelstra said, I think yesterday, he said, good news if we get back home for Game 6. Bernie is good to go.
There you
and he
are.
joked about the Heat culture and we're tough and people were laughing, which is fine and good. But I'm sure for Bernie, it wasn't funny as he was nearly unconscious as they dragged him off the floor.
Again, man, if I get to the arena and they tell me Conor McGregor is going to be fighting me, I'm definitely discussing anything before we move
That's
forward.
a fake fight, Lottie. I'll swing and miss at you. I won't hit you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But look, we're going to make sure, just understand, you punch me, I'm punching back or something.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, he definitely did not punch back.
Yeah, no.
Down goes Bernie.
That's his fault.
How much do you think those mascots make? Do you know?
I do, actually. This has been a topic of conversation over the last couple of months, and I don't know why or how this has become such a big deal over the last few months now.
I didn't know until I looked it up here.
This dude
It's
is
incredible.
paid, man.
I don't know about Bernie.
Yes.
But I know that Rocky,
Yes.
according to my figures,
Yes.
he's the highest paid mascot.
He is.
$625,000 a
Come
year?
on. Yes. How about that? We were having this conversation on the show, on the Cattles and Rami show.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't, I can't remember how we got to this conversation, but as I looked around,
Slamson, by the way, is vastly underpaid.
Vastly.
He should be the highest paid
And
mascot.
the gentleman who is Slamson is a great guy.
Yes.
Very good. I'm not going to,
Yes.
spoil his name and everything, but he is a good dude.
Great guy.
Works hard.
Yes.
Super cat.
Tremendous athlete.
Good cat. And I've found out what he made. And I was like, dude, you're underpaid.
Yep.
I mean, he makes good money. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Very
Right.
good money, but he's underpaid.
If Rocky's making $625,000 to pass out while they lower him from the ceiling, I mean, I'll do that for $100,000.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And when I saw, I said, man, this dude almost makes $1 million a year. And I get it. He has to jump and hit the trampoline. And, he's a show for everyone. And shots out, get your money. I'm all about anybody getting your money.
Number 2, Harry the Hawk, pardon me. Harry the Hawk, $600,000. Number 3, Benny the Bull makes $400,000 a year. Go the Gorilla in Phoenix, $200,000. And then my list had Hugo the Hornet at $100,000. And I thought years ago, Slamson was up in that territory. So I was a little surprised that he's not on this list.
Yeah.
And he definitely should be.
He should be in the list. Absolutely. Look, I mean, $600K to be a mascot. Where do I sign up?
Mm-hmm.
I'll sign up right now.
Even if you got to do a mock fight with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no worries. It's all good. I mean, dude's okay. I'm not going to sit up here and act like dude got a bloody nose. And man, take yourself home. Suck it up. We'll see you Game 6. Whitey, man, look, this sports, brother.
This is the NBA.
It's part of the game.
Bernie.
Yes, it's part of the game. You got punched in your throat. That's on you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you remember Giants mascot Crazy Crab? Have you ever heard of Crazy
Crab?
I
know it, but I wasn't
he was
old enough to.
He was like an anti-mascot where the Giants, like, we don't like mascots. So they'd bring in Crazy Crab and everyone would boo him because the whole thing was, it was like, we're real fans and we don't need mascots. So
sounds like a Giants fan.
Yeah. So Crazy Crab, everyone hated him. So they brought him out one time and they were playing the Padres, and a couple Padres beat the bejeebies out of him, beat the stuffing out of the guy. And I think they ended up suing and winning because he got hurt badly. And it turns out somebody like Tom Hanks' son did a documentary on it. It turns out, long story short, the guy, one of the Padres that beat up Crazy Crab was Bruce Bochy.
Really?
Yeah. How about that?
Wow. I can see Boch doing that.
Yeah.
I've seen the Crazy Crab. I don't know. Of course, again, I wasn't old enough to be around when he was around. How many years? Do you know how he was?
He's a couple years. I think he's around 85.
84, 85, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. And it was the poor guy. It was like a joke. And then people just really hated him to the point where it got dangerous to put on the costume, I guess.
And it was just based on that.
Other fans in other cities, they need mascots to entertain them. We appreciate baseball here. We don't need these mascots.
Sounds like a Giants fan.
Crazy Crab.
So, update on the Crazy Crab. So, Wayne Doba, I believe, is the man who was Crazy Crab, sued the Padres, and they settled out of court in 1985 for $2,000.
Okay, yeah. And Bochy, who one of the greatest Giants ever, was actually one of the guys who pummeled Crazy Crab into submission.
Wow.
So, how do the Heat avoid getting pummeled into submission tonight?
It's over with, Roddy. It's done.
No adjustments, nothing that can be done.
There's nothing. I mean, at this point, you're going to have to come meet face to face. I do believe Miami has an opportunity to win tonight's game. They don't win the series tonight. I think they just have to come out. Well, one thing they've done all postseason, they've hit shots. In the finals, that's dried up. It's like a desert at this point when it comes to Caleb Martin hit the shots. K-Love out the corner. Gabe Vincent is slowed down. Duncan Robinson Duncan's played pretty well. He's hit a couple of shots. I know at last peak, and I'll get that number for you, he was shooting almost 40% from the field. But Jimmy hasn't had the impact that he normally has. Kyle Lowry, we know, is slow.
I think Jimmy's just worn out.
I think so, too.
He's having to do so much at both ends of the floor, and for so long now for that team.
And it's just, again, there's a talent gap.
Yeah.
And more times than not, talent will win out. Miami has done it, with paper clips, staples, nails, shoestring, whatever, glue, anything that you possibly can do, utilize this offseason. And quite frankly, I know they beat Milwaukee, of course, Boston, New York, but it's almost like they've kind of hit these teams at a great time, like right at the proper time.
I agree.
Middleton was still trying to bounce back. They had injuries. Giannis was fighting. I mean, Giannis didn't even play in a couple of games, and so it just worked out perfect for them. I'm not taking anything away from Miami. I mean, they've surprised. I mean, I believe despite them continuing to keep on saying, we don't care, we believe, we know, I get it. But to believe that you were going to get all the way here, the way the season has went, it's taking a lot of belief. That's a lot of belief if you want me to believe, that's what you were saying all season. Denver's just better.
Denver's better. And they're bigger. And when you're better and bigger and it's basketball, you're playing a team that's better than you and bigger than you. You have very little margin for error. Yeah. And that's why you like the shooting. You got to make pretty much everything. And Denver's been doing a much better job of defending the 3-point line. We'll see what the desperate Heat, how much they have to bring tonight. Maybe tonight's the night, as we said earlier. Maybe it gets a little chippy here. Maybe with nothing left, then maybe that's their last resort.
Well, they're going to have to. If they feel like they want to, extend this series, Miami Heat means chippiness. Miami Heat means in your face. Miami Heat means smothering defense and hitting shots that, for, quite frankly, a lot of people didn't believe that they could hit. And their shot making ability, in the playoffs has been incredible. It has been incredible. Some of the things that they've been able to do and set the tone in certain situations. But Denver's matching that. Denver is matching the shot making. And the other part with Denver is they come in waves. We're coming with Bruce Brown off the bench. Michael Porter can get hot when he needs to. KCP can deliver. We'll as we talked about Aaron Gordon Bruce earlier. Too. Yeah. I mean, they have an all-around team. And then you have Jokic. That's just a different situation anyway.
If you're looking for NBA stars on the move this offseason, tell you what, keep an eye on this team. Tell you who next. It's Whitey and JJ on Chris & Co. Sactown Sports.
The Kings season might be over, but Sactown Sports coverage never stops.
It's probably one of the best starting points I could have had starting in the NBA, Sacramento.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
This Father's Day, visit Boot Barn for quality gifts and personalized services. Gifts range from durable suede jackets to premium exotic cowboy boots, iconic Western shirts, heavy-duty jeans, and work boots. We provide local same-day gift delivery with gift wrapping and a card included. You can enjoy in-store pickup with $20 off your next order, and our team of experts can help guide you as you shop when you visit your local Boot Barn.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health Sacramento has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com today.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris & Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Chris back tomorrow. Today, JJ and Whitey Gleason on Sactown Sports. If you're the Miami Heat, JJ, and they've heard you say, well, you're done now. And obviously they're not ready to give up yet, but they are looking ahead to next year. Is Dame Lillard in the future for the Heat? Is that the type of player the Heat need next year to get even further than they've gotten this year?
Dame Lillard is the type of player every team should need, from my point of view.
Yeah.
He's the difference for just about any team that's out there, including the champs, if it's going to be the Denver Nuggets, which I can continue to keep on saying, Denver is going to win it, and it's all she wrote. I said in the gentleman's sweep, I thought it'd be 4-1. But for me, Dame is the type of guy that takes your team to another level, for sure.
Then how come Portland hasn't been better with him?
Because I don't think they've given him anyone around him. No one's ever won by themselves. I don't care what you say. Everyone in this world, no matter what position or situation you in, you need help.
Absolutely. And they have gotten to the conference finals.
Absolutely. Yeah. No one in this world gets anywhere without any help. And Dame, quite frankly, has not played with someone of the ilk, the type of talent that he is. People talked about C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum's not Damian Lillard. C.J. McCollum has never been a top 30 guy in this league. C.J. McCollum is a one-time All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not going to win a championship. You have to have someone around you that can assist you when you can't. And I just don't believe they've put a great team around Dame. They've put good.
Yeah, they have.
Average.
They have.
But what good team has won a championship?
The Spurs when they beat the Pistons, maybe. But you're right.
Is that a good team or a great team?
That's a very good team.
Okay.
Very good team.
All right. So just under great.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're right. I agree with you. Well, I mentioned teams to keep an eye on this offseason. Portland is one because something could be happening with Dame. I was also referring to the Toronto Raptors because the Toronto Raptors have their new coach, Darko Rajakovic. And here's the thing. Tell me if I'm reading this right, JJ, as far as you're concerned. He's a development guy. Now, he's made his bones by being a player development guy. And Toronto's a team now with Nick Nurse moving on to Philly. They're at a crossroads. They have some veterans, some good players Like Van Vliet faces free agency, but you got OG and Anunoby. They have Pirtle. They have, of course, Pascal Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
So does this mean it's time for them? That core hasn't, since 2019, they won the championship, they lose Kawhi. They really haven't done anything. Are they going to move on and trade some of these assets for younger guys? Is that why? Are they kind of showing their hand by hiring this guy who's a player development guy? That's what I expect. Of course, we'll see.
Agreed. So, but are you barking up the tree in the fact that you think there's going to be a couple of guys there for the picking, Whitey? Is that where you're going here?
Well, I think there'll be trades made for, I would assume that they'll be looking for, future assets, young players and draft picks.
Got you. So with that being said, are you thinking about poaching someone from the Sacramento Kings?
I don't know that if it fits for the Kings. OG Anunoby to me would be a really beneficial piece for the Kings because he defends. And I could be wrong here. To me, that's the number one thing the Kings need at the top of my shopping list. If I'm Sacramento, is wings who can defend. Two-way wings.
It's everybody's shopping list.
Yeah, I know. You can never have too many. I don't think the Kings have nearly enough.
Right.
Yeah. So given that you want to maintain some level of offensive proficiency, they were incredibly proficient last year. But you need to be better defensively. That's where I think that starts.
I mean, is there anyone that's on that roster that you got your eyes on? I would imagine most people are going to say Pascal Siakam, or as you said, OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
For me, it's Scotty Barnes. I don't think they move on Scotty.
Right,
I think they build
young.
upon him.
Yeah, he'd probably be the guy they'd keep.
He's that guy. But there's a few other ones on there. We just talked about Otto Porter Jr. with the Warriors. That's someone I think that can come in and elaborate on what the Kings are trying to do, and be able to shoot it. He's a big body. He's physical a little bit. He's got a thick frame and what he does. And
he's a good player. The Warriors don't win the championship last year without Otto Porter
He's a glue
Jr.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that ties things together.
He's older and he gets hurt a lot.
Okay. But
so it's risky.
So are you looking for someone, and when it comes to the Kings, are you looking for, and we're just speaking specifically off the Raptors roster, are you looking for someone that fits the bill to the timeline of what the Kings are approaching and you're ready to pay that money? Or are you looking for a tie down guy, a glue guy, maybe that, can be here for a year, maybe two, and you go for it all?
Me personally, I'd be looking at OG Anunoby.
Okay. No one else.
To me, that's the guy. I mean, Siakam is intriguing, but he didn't always get along with his coach, and he's going to need the ball a lot. I would
not if you have to give up Keegan Murray.
Yeah. Anunoby, I think, is probably more attainable, and I think he could help me. The one guy,
Gary Trent Jr.
out there. I mean, he's a better shooter, but I don't really. You can always use more shooting, but he doesn't address my most pressing needs, in my opinion. The one guy who's potentially out there, and he's not on Toronto's roster, but to me, he'd be a perfect fit for the Kings. I don't know if he's attainable, even though he's a restricted free agent. If there was any way the Kings could get Cam Johnson, I think that would be a tremendous acquisition for them.
A lot of people
He's
are
perfect for the Kings.
A lot of people are mesmerized by what Cam can bring to the ball game.
You know what, though, Jay? The only way you could get him, and I want to hear your thoughts, because obviously you have some second thoughts, I guess you'd say. The only way you could get him, because Brooklyn likes him, and he's a restricted free agent, so they could match anything.
Yep.
So presumably they're going to, we'll match. You would have to pay. You'd have to really overpay to try to discourage them from matching.
Sure.
And I don't even know if you have the wherewithal to do that financially, but that's probably the only way you get him, unless you can swing some goofy trade involving, like Hurt or a 3-team and Rashawn Holmes, something like that. But they don't want to get rid of him. That's why it's so tough.
What's for you, why do you like Cam Johnson?
Because
over OG Anunoby.
Because he's a better shooter. He's a really good shooter. Anunoby's had his moments, but Cam Johnson's a really good shooter, and he can defend either forward spot. And that to me is that's perfect. A shooter offensively, a guy who can guard wings at the other end. I don't think they can get him, but to me, that's the perfect guy.
Cam is kind of pretty much what we know him at this point. He's 27. I don't think he really has a lot of uptick. I know he put a 15 this past year.
Well, he's to your point. If I know where you're going, scouts and NBA people will tell you he's a good player. He on a really good team would be maybe the fourth best player. So he's not, because he's not a great shot creator. So you wouldn't bring him in and build your team around him. He's not that kind of guy.
Is he the fourth best player on this Kings roster?
Well, ideally he would be behind Sabonis and Fox and Keegan. If Keegan becomes the type of player that
is he better than Malik Monk?
Yeah.
Really?
Because he's a guy who has started on good teams, and I think is
he better than Herter?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he better than Davion?
Oh yeah, easily.
Nothing
against any of those guys, but yeah, I think he is. He's a really good player. I think Phoenix missed him and Bridges too. You know, they got rid of those
Bridges
guys
for sure.
bringing Durant, and all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute, we gave up a lot to get KD, and he's not quite KD anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you're skeptical. You're not sold.
Yeah, I think what intrigues me about for Cam is he's 6'8", he's a big body. He shoots it at a 40% clip for the most part in his career. He's at 39.3 from 3-point. The other part of it for me though is I don't see anything that he's going to do for what he makes and what you're going to have to give him that you can't get from a Vanderbilt or, someone of that ilk. I'm not.
He's a way better shooter than Vanderbilt. I understand your point.
He is, but I don't think the Kings need so much as the shooting part of it. You can never have as much shooting. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Kings need a little something different. I think they need a little more toughness. I think they need a little more length. Of course, we know they need more defense. Vanderbilt's more defensive-minded than Cam Johnson.
Well, Jerry Reynolds, who comes on the show all the time, Jerry says, they need Naz Reid. So
I love Naz Reid.
You need length.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, they definitely need length, which is Cam is 6'8".
There's a lot of teams that want Naz Reid.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they should be. Everybody should be on the up and up to be looking for Naz Reid. I'm just not sold on Cam, man. I just think he's underwhelming. I know he kind of has that name because he came out of Carolina and he got drafted, in the lottery. And this past year he did well. I think this is the most he's ever scored, which was 15 points. He's a career 11 point at the clip, and he shoots 40% from the 3-point line. I mean, it's a good pickup. I don't think it's what a lot of people, and maybe I don't want to speak for you and put words in your mouth. I'm not exactly sure if I'm so much as sold on Cam coming here and elevating the Kings roster. The way I look at rosters, and I look at it a little different. Of course, I'm not a general manager. I'm not, what a lot of fans. I'm not an analytics guy as much all the time, money guy, whatever. I'm kind of in the middle of everything. I don't look at everything to the extreme, and I don't look at everything at the bottom. I'm more in the middle of all, but I trust my eyes. I just don't see him winning a championship with someone.
Well,
being the fourth best player, I believe I'm always trying to build a team to win a championship. I'm not sure he can win a championship being the fourth best player.
I see him, what you see as underwhelming, I see as rock solid. And I see him as a guy, and again, he's going to be so expensive, it probably doesn't make sense to overpay to bring him in here. But if you could get him, I see him as a guy who maybe he doesn't raise your ceiling, but he raises your floor.
Okay.
I think, and that makes you as a team more solid. And the Kings have to get better defensively. So whether it's him, Naz Reid, whoever they bring in, I think they really have to address being better defensively, especially to me at the wing position. Some people think the interior defense is even a more pressing need. But to me, if you're going to compete for a championship, that has to be better next year. That has to be, or else you don't really have a chance.
And is it, and let's tackle this here coming up. Is it because the openness of the Western Conference and Denver not being as great as we talked about, a great team, or is it more or less that you think Cam has an opportunity to be better?
We'll get to that coming up, and we'll look at how wide open the West appears to be, what that means for the Kings next. He's JJ. I'm Whitey. This is Chris and Co. Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Denver Nuggets, in the middle of an NBA Finals run, have made a trade. They are acquiring from the Oklahoma City Thunder first-round picks in 2024
on the day of Game 4 of the NBA Finals. If they lose tonight, they are not focused. They are not locked into the job at hand.
The Nuggets know they can't use the pick tonight, right?
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Summer's here and the deals are heating up at Fastener's Tool Outlet. You'll find scorching deals next Saturday on Makita Tools. Get 2 free batteries with the purchase of a circular saw kit and get $50 off any 40-volt tool kit. Fastener's Tool Outlet is turning up the heat on Makita Summer Savings next Saturday. Buy a 2-piece combo kit and get 2 extra free batteries. Come into Fastener's Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's Thunder Valley's $20,000 20th anniversary cash giveaway. 5 winners on Friday and Saturday nights in June. One very lucky guest wins $20,000, guaranteed. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Carmichael Dave here. Spring here. Long, cold, rainy winter behind us. And I know you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioning is working efficiently and safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from my friends at American Energy Heat and Air. Nothing worse than having your AC go out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today to make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or schedule your appointment online like I did last year around this time at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Don't wait till that AC goes out. Call my friends today, 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Cattles and Rami will have pregame coverage as well as the first quarter breakdown during the last half hour of their show. The Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on that move, read Frankie Cardacelli's story up right now at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Now let's roll along with Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson on Chris and Company.
You got those Denver Nuggets on the verge of their first championship, so Kings are trying to figure out how to knock them off their thrones next year. They'll at least be on the Western Conference throne no matter what happens, right? Do you realize, Jay, JJ and Whitey with you today on Chris and Co. Whoever wins the NBA Finals this year, and I think we agree, it's, probably going to be Denver, we will have had 5 different teams win the championship in the last 5 years, and that's the first time that's happened since 1975 through 1980.
Wow. Goodness gracious. I didn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We had the Raptors, then we had the Lakers, then we had the Bucks, then the Warriors, and then this year, presumably the Nuggets. So it's wide open.
Yes, it is.
Not only, it feels wide open and seems wide open because it's wide open.
Yes.
Which is encouraging for teams like Sacramento.
Yeah, which is, speaking of the Cam Johnson situation, my question to you, Whitey, I want to propose is with the Western Conference for sure, and it seems like the NBA is wide open. When you brought that to my attention, I had not known that. I paid attention to that. I don't know why.
In 75-80, it was the Warriors. 75, then it was the Celtics, then it was the Blazers, then it was the Bullets and the Sonics, and then the Lakers. And then after that, the Lakers and Sixers and Celtics started trading
stuff around.
Yeah.
Also, I think 8 different teams have played in the finals in those 5 years, too, beyond just the 5 champions, because I think the only teams to go to multiple finals are the Warriors 2019, 2022, and the Heat 2020 and this year.
Yep.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Absolutely.
So if that's the case, are you approaching this season knowing that you're looking for guys like Cam Johnson, and you have a point of you're lifting up the ceiling compared to going for the championship, or are you trying to
lift up the floor?
The floor, the floor compared to going all out to win a championship. How do you approach it?
I'm just trying to get better. Whatever gets me better. A guy like Cam Johnson, again, we probably spent too much time on him already, and that's because of me, because I brought him up.
No.
But I don't know that how reasonable it is to acquire him. Somebody on the YouTube
turned down
chat,
the contract, $72 million.
Yeah, fans underscore only asks Johnson an upgrade from Barnes. I think so.
Really?
Yeah. Cam Johnson can shoot it, man. He can shoot the 3
Definitely.
ball. Barnes numbers. You look at his numbers, and they're like, oh, Harrison Barnes is pretty solid, but Cam Johnson he's a more versatile and better defender.
It doesn't spark me.
I understand that.
And I'm not saying
I'm
that
not
you
sure
don't.
your move is there, though. Bring in, and you haven't been making that case, but there's not that, like, you can't play. Go get Jaylen Brown. That's not there either.
No, I'm looking at realistic moves for me.
Yeah,
and
please don't say Dylan Brooks.
Yeah,
no.
I'm going that way, man.
Well, we've been getting along pretty well.
I'm going that way. I think you need, and this is the way I look at it is this. I'm trying to win a championship every year.
Sure.
That's the way I'm going at. Common sense lets me know there are years that I don't have a championship. Now I sound greedy as being a Kings fan, right? Okay, look, we haven't been good. They haven't been good. No one cares. All this type of stuff. Now, all of a sudden, they're good. Now, let's go for a championship.
You're right, though. What are you supposed to say? Oh, we only want to be good every few years. We'll be happy. And then no.
So
win.
That's how I look at it. Cam Johnson, to me, on this team, that's not a championship team. There's
he helps you get there.
They're as the 4th best player.
Well, if he's your 4th best player, you got a damn good team. How about this? This is from Mac Wormerdam on the YouTube chat. Thanks, Mac. Signed Dwight Howard and Grant Williams. Get Sasha over here. Re-sign Barnes and Lyles. Chip level. If not, make deals at trade deadline. Thoughts?
I like the Grant Williams. Not sold on a D Howard.
No.
Not at all.
No.
The Sasha, crossing fingers. We'll see how that comes. That's a coin flip. I don't think anyone knows how Sasha is going to perform over here.
My thing is I would look into trading Sasha and the pick if I can get a player, whoever it is, who really helps me.
And I think you said that a couple weeks ago.
Don't like that.
But I do, though. You said that a couple of weeks ago on the Cattles and Rami show in the afternoon. I'm with that because I think the one thing is that Sasha is a known unknown, if that makes sense. Like, we know he's a good ball player over there. He's the MVP. He's went to the finals. We know what he is across the pond. Of course, how he relates over here to the NBA game is a little different, but I don't think he's going to be any worse than a good player here. I like the fact of it is he doesn't cost what Cam Johnson's going to cost. I think you're going to get offensively, you're going to get what Cam Johnson gives you, probably even more.
From who?
From Sasha. I think you give him. I mean, we're talking.
He's a great shooter, yeah.
But Cam Johnson's only 11-point career average. That's not a lot.
That's okay. I don't need him to score 20. I need him to make shots.
I think Sasha can do that. I think Sasha's going to give you the shots.
I think at the other end of the floor, I think it's night and day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Cam Johnson is a proven, very good defender.
True.
Sasha might be okay. So maybe, fingers crossed.
So if I'm hearing where you're going, Whitey, you're looking for a shot maker and a defender.
Yep.
Which is again, everyone's looking for a 3-and-D guy.
Why?
In this league.
Because they make you better.
Right.
Because it's a wing league.
Everyone's looking for a 3-and-D guy.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I'm giving you one or the other, you're saying Cam is his best attribute as a shooter, probably, and he's going to be a solid defender. I'm giving you probably one of the top 10, 15 defenders in Dillon Brooks, and I think he's a solid shooter. This past season is an anomaly. This was an anomaly. This past season is an anomaly.
He's a terrible shooter, and he takes a lot of bad shots. One thing I'll say this on Dillon Brooks, because I know a lot of people get into the Dillon Brooks debate, and he's this, he's that, he's a bad guy. I don't know about any of that, and I don't care, okay? So I'm not going to throw any of that at you. I'm just talking about him as a basketball player. For me, he takes way too many bad shots. He's one of those guys that thinks he's kind of fearless in that sense that we need a big three, I'll take it. And I feel like saying, you should be afraid of that because you can't make it. Those are my concerns with Dillon Brooks.
I get it. He's an elite defender, though.
He's a very good defender.
He's a first team, second team all defender. He was second team this year, last year. He is an elite defender. We have to, look, if you make the All-NBA defensive team 2 years in a row, you're an elite defender.
I know, but I have to play him at the other end. I can't sub out, but he averages line in when we have.
But he has a higher career average than Cam Johnson.
Yeah, but points per game don't matter. It's about, can he make shots?
Points per game don't matter.
They do not matter. It matters what your field goal percentage is and how efficient you are in putting up those numbers.
So Cam is a 39% three-point shooter, because that's when we're talking about making shots, that's what we're talking about, beyond the arc in the NBA at this point. Dillon Brooks is 5% less. 34.
What was he last year?
32. That's what I said. Last year was an anomaly, and he still averaged just as much.
I know 5% doesn't sound like a lot. That's a pretty big goal.
That's a couple of shots. It's a couple of shots a game, which factors into about 8 shots a week. 10 shots a week. I need one of my analytics guys.
That's 24 points a game, or 24 points a week.
But he's giving you more points.
What was he?
He's just missing.
What was he missing the shot?
3-point. Let's see. This dude has averaged 18 and 17 and 16 points.
Okay, the year he averaged 18.4 points per game, 2022. What was his 3-point percentage?
Let's see here. 43%.
No, sir.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. 30%.
309.
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah.
34. So he's never been anything over 37% three-point shooter.
So this is a guy that shot 43% going to 2022, and he took 16 shots a game. That's like, you're shooting too much. And
he's giving you 18, 17, 16.
Eventually.
And he's an elite defender in the league.
For his career, 14 points on 13 shots. That's not efficient.
That's pretty bad.
I need a more efficient offensive player.
But he's giving you points.
Eventually.
Kobe wasn't efficient. Iverson wasn't, but none of these, there's a lot of stars who weren't efficient.
Mm-hmm. I especially now,
but they're giving you points.
Basketball. I can get my points from other people. Dillon Brooks takes too many bad shots on this team.
Okay,
I can.
So then why do we need Cam Johnson? If you can get your points from other people on this team, and he's giving you solid defense on one side, but giving you 2 shots a game, that's okay. Then we don't need your shots because we got that from other people.
We need you to make threes when we need you to make threes. We're not going to get that many. If you can make a couple a game, great. Dylan Brooks he shoots too many and he doesn't make them.
But we're also giving up all the points on the opposite side, which you're not going to really
Cam
help.
Johnson.
I don't know. I don't see it.
He's a very good defender.
But I'm giving you an elite defender. I'm giving you a top 10 guy in the league.
We disagree on that, obviously, but to me, Dylan Brooks, offensively, he hurts me. He's not helping me. No matter how many points he scores, he hurts me because you
got to score points to win a game.
Yes, but you don't have to miss shots. Missed shots don't help you win games. And
takes stopping other shots on the other side.
It's like a missed shot and a bad shot. A bad shot and a turnover are blood relatives. They're related, and he takes too many bad shots, in my opinion. And I think that's the number one reason why Memphis decided, you know what, no matter what, we're not interested next year.
Yeah, Memphis doesn't know what they're doing.
They were so close. They're trying to figure it out right now. They thought they were right there. We're at loggerheads on that, Dylan Brooks. We have to go poll. I'm not going to go poll on you. We don't want to go.
Doesn't matter. I mean, look,
we agree on Vanderbilt.
I like Vanderbilt.
And Brooks defensively can help you, but the rest of it, we'll take a timeout from basketball for just a second. Coming up, which is scarier here? An A's move to Vegas or what happened to an A's player at Milwaukee's haunted hotel this weekend? Did you hear about this? Huh? Yeah, that's next here. Chris and Company, JJ and Whitey, Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Handoff McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The five-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
on your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back this summer. Catch 6 games of NBA action and fun for the whole family when the California Classic Summer League returns on July 3rd and 5th. The Kings will host the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, and newly added San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets with the number 1 and number 2 NBA draft picks. 2-day passes start at just $42 and include access to all 6 games. Visit kings.com/California Classic for more information and to buy your tickets today.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is a celebrity pro-am golf tournament, a $1 million hole-in-one contest, a skins game, a celebrity draft party, and a concert featuring the Atlanta Rhythm Section. The Gold Rush Classic raises money for Make-A-Wish, Jordan's Guardian Angels, First Tee of Sacramento, Rancho Murrieta Youth Sports, and other worthwhile children's charities. The Gold Rush Classic takes place July 13th and 14th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun, raise money for charity, and play golf with a celebrity like Barnes, Fernandez, Jackson, Lloyd, Merriweather, Ostertag, Polynice, Sharp, Schumann, and our own Gregg Vaughn. Golf and concert sponsorships are still available at goldrushclassic.org. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is sponsored by Adrian Blanco Jewelry, your family jeweler in Folsom. Voted Style Magazine Reader's Choice Best Local Business 3 years in a row.
Turn your highway into a smile with Elk Grove Kia.
Have you ever needed a second chance? A chance at a do-over? Elk Grove Kia thinks everyone deserves a second chance, and yet too many folks don't get that second chance they need or deserve. Well, Elk Grove Kia wants you to know we've got you covered. With over 100 years of combined experience in financing, we have the connections and knowledge to get you the approval that others just can't. Doesn't matter if you have late payments, charge-offs, bankruptcies, or repos. If you can make the payment, we can find a way to get you on the road with a new set of keys. Elk Grove Kia can even make all this happen with little to no money down. Don't wait. Enjoy your summer with a new set of wheels. Get started today at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Turn your highway into a smile with Elk Grove Kia.
Hey guys, June is Men's Health Month, and Revive Men's Health encourages you to prioritize your health. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. Call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sitting at your desk? Watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
You know what's scary is the thought of the Oakland A's. Well, you know, there's a chance they're going to move to Vegas. This is Chris and Co. I'm Whitey. He's JJ. We'll get back to our animated basketball discussion, but I wanted to touch on this because we've got the vote could go on today, JJ, with the Nevada legislators meeting on the A's. We know that was delayed from last week, which means they don't have the votes for this thing yet. So they're working on that. That's scary, and they were supposed to resume this morning. Haven't heard anything yet on that. So what is scarier, the thought of the A's going to Vegas or this? Brent Rooker of the A's, who had a big weekend as the A's swept the Brewers. This is what he tweeted on the 9th. Brent Rooker on Twitter. We're at the notoriously haunted Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee. But the only thing the ghosts are doing to me is randomly turning off, on, or changing the channel on my TV, which all in all doesn't seem too bad. So I'm okay with it. Then he added, I'm more than happy to let them choose the channel as long as they're cool otherwise. Wow. Should I take that at face value? Should we believe that?
Yeah.
Did that really happen?
The Pfister is
I know.
You know, Rami being from Milwaukee, he said a few things on the show about it. Mookie Betts he booked a whole nother hotel. He's like, I'm not staying there.
Pablo Sandoval, I think years ago, said he heard some chains rattling and he's like, I'm out.
Yeah,
so
I'm with it. Look, if there's any situation where there may be something, I'm like Mookie, I'm out, man. It's definitely not for me. I'm gone. I'll go ahead and stay across the street, or I'm not familiar with Milwaukee or the Pfister, but I'm going to stay somewhere a little bit further or closer to the ballpark, and it's not going to be the Pfister for me.
Nah,
I'm out. I'm out.
You spent a lot of time in Oakland. Do you know the Clarion Hotel?
Yeah, of course, the Clarion. Used to be one down here, right off of 16th Street.
Do you know that when the Spurs were playing the Warriors in 2014, they were on their way to winning the championship? Tim Duncan said that there was like a room that was locked and they heard like little kids in there, and they went and checked with the front desk. Front desk said there's no one in that room. So
I'm out.
Said that
gonna be at the Clarion next time, meaning the next day. I would be going, Whitey. No problem. I'm not staying in the Pfister.
Maybe Brent Rooker's just having some fun with this. But if that's actually true and that was happening, and he was like, okay, that's fine. That's incredible. It's like, I'll just go to bed then if that's all the ghosts are going to do.
You're just going to go to bed?
Well, I guess he did.
No, see, that's the problem. No, you don't just go to bed. You get your bags and you leave.
But he stayed. I agree with you. But I'm trying to figure out if this was real and he actually decided, oh, this isn't bad. That's incredible. And my hat is off to him. One time I was watching TV with my mom at our house in Vallejo, and we were the only ones home. And I was probably like 10, and I could swear we heard someone walk down the hallway. There was no one else home. And I turned to my mom and I said, did you hear that? She's like, no, I didn't hear anything. And then like 6 months later, I was talking about it, and she goes, oh yeah, I heard it. I just didn't want to say anything.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it
been out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that the only time that you've ever heard it at the house? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how long has mom's been at the house?
Well, that was, this was way back when I was a kid. So No, we sold that house. No one's in that house. Well, nobody in our family's in that house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long did you stay at the residence?
Oh, through
years?
Yeah.
And that was the only time?
That was the only time.
Oh, that could have been something here. The Pfister's got too many.
I know.
They've got a history at the Pfister.
I know.
So soon as a channel change, it could be anything. The ceiling creaks or the building moves or the blinds sway. I got my bags. I'm out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I would go into it not even staying there at this point. I would Mookie Betts I would be gone.
I wonder if anybody can do that, or if you have to be like a Mookie Betts caliber. I would think if you say I'm paying my own way, if you wanted to,
sure,
let you stay somewhere else.
And the other part of that is if we're talking about safety, because one thing about our society now, you can turn a lot of different things in certain ways. Using certain language, diction, verbiage, whatever you want to call it. Look, I'm scared for my life. I don't feel safe at that place.
There's a hotel in Oklahoma City also.
Yes.
That is supposed to be
same thing
where NBA players stay.
And they do not like to stay there. And now Oklahoma City's got a couple of new hotels. So I know the Kings, I believe, do not stay at that hotel anymore.
Okay.
I'm looking to see exactly what the name of that hotel is, but it's one of those things. Is it the Skirvin?
Yes,
the Skirvin.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah,
and that sounds haunted.
Yeah, I'm
want to stay at the Skirvin?
I'm gone. Nope, I'm out. Not even gonna happen. I'm gone. Is there a Holiday Inn there?
But the A's won 5 in a row, so that's the other thing that tells me that place must be haunted. Because how else are the A's gonna sweep the Brewers and win 5 in a row if they're not getting some kind of supernatural help? Right?
Well,
isn't that the only explanation? Nothing against the A's, but come on, we know that they're not. As an organization, they're not putting the best field they can on best team they can on the field.
No, according to John Fisher, they are.
Well,
I'm only repeating the Omni, I believe, is now where everybody is staying in Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
But yeah, it had to be something. It had to be, as you guys talked about watching the Angels in the outfield for the A's to win 5, sweep a series because they have no business sweeping anybody, let alone a Major League Baseball team.
Right. So there clearly had to be supernatural intervention.
Yeah, there's no way I'm staying at that. No way I'm staying at that hotel.
Brett on the YouTube chat says, I've stayed at the Pfister numerous times, never an incident. Knowing what I know now, I'll stay at another spot.
Shouts out to Brett. He's smart, intelligent, making great moves. I like where he's going with it.
But just think, how often do we hear a story about one of those places? Every so often. And think how many people must stay there every day.
What about
so it's probably just a kind of everyone's in on the joke. Yeah, there were ghosts in my room.
Maybe until you get there and something happens in your room, and then you're like, I'm pretty sure there's some stories we haven't heard just because the people who they aren't celebrities or they're not famous, they're not tied, they don't have anything to promote.
Did you hear it happen in Vegas with the aliens?
Oh yes, we've been talking about on the Candles Around Me show all week.
Are you in or out? Do you think that happened or not? Do you think it happened or not? JJ's answer to that is coming up. Also, how Denver hopes to be the more desperate team tonight. It's next. Whitey and JJ, Chris and Company, Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Because the UFO's not in their driveway, Rami. It's miles away.
I feel like we would have seen it.
I'm saying you don't like the quality of the video that we have.
Because we have clear video of everything that happens everywhere. John Morant is flashing guns, and every time it happens, somehow it's on Instagram. Nobody's gotten a clear shot of an alien or a UFO of non-human origin.
What are you failing to pick up that I'm putting down?
What are you failing to pick up that I'm putting down here?
It's thousands of miles away, Rami.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at acuraofstockton.com.
For nearly 20 years since Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course opened near the banks of the Sacramento River, it's been Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf course architects designed the course to be an easy walk, but motorized carts are available as well. You and your friends of all abilities will find Bartley Kavanaugh featuring a brand new tap room is a great place to play golf. After your round, relax on the outdoor veranda overlooking the course with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit bartleycavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Well, Cattles and Rami will have your pregame coverage as well as a first-quarter breakdown during the last half hour of their show. Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's won 5 games in a row. How about that? There's a reverse boycott tomorrow at the Oakland Coliseum. Game starts at 6:40. And if you show up early, you can get a Kelly Green t-shirt with the word "sell" written across the chest. Those are your headlines. Now let's return to Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson for one more hour of Chris and Company.
Thank you, Kyle. We got to start here. JJ, the story about the aliens in Vegas. Are you buying it? We got a lot to get to. NBA Finals, but I wanted to know your answer.
I guess I have to.
You have to.
I have to. And the reason why I have to is there's enough evidence for me to start to believe it, right? There is the Fister style. There are some hard, I won't say concrete because you could still argue them, but there is the cement mix is over and it's being mixed. Whitey, like
there's the body cam footage.
Yeah.
Las Vegas police. There is something you see in the sky.
See something.
And then the people go, yeah, they were right over there. The 2 giant creatures.
Right. It's, what's so difficult about it is it's Vegas. There's so many different lights going on in Vegas. that it could be absolutely anything at this point. But
you know what people have now realized? I have the scoop. You know, the two guys were in the backyard. It was John Fisher and Dave Campbell. That's who was in those people's backyard. And they were wearing some kind of crazy green, A's costume. And that's who it was.
Don't have me curse on this airways right here, Whitey.
I'm telling you, that's who it was.
Them dudes, man, whatever.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR has a story about staying at the haunted Pfister Hotel.
Uh-oh.
JR, you're on. Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's up, Whitey? Hey, JJ, he hosted Creature Features, so you're dealing with Whitey here.
That's right.
You know that, right?
That is true. I actually remember that.
He's a spooky guy to start with. Yeah, I've stayed there on a couple times.
Are you serious?
Huh?
Are you?
Yeah,
actually?
I am.
Okay.
I am serious. I am serious. I have stayed there, but I was going to say the good thing is I charged up a bunch of movies and then blamed it on the guests the next morning.
Boy.
Ghost, and I didn't have to pay for it, so that was good.
That's dope. I like that.
You know what? You know what's even scarier than the Pfister, though?
What?
The fact that the Giants are still ahead of the Padres in the NL West. That's scary and funny at the same time. Great show. Love you.
Thank you, JR. Yeah. How about Brandon Crawford pitching yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Uh-huh.
Dude's he's been a staple for the Giants. Don't have me start talking about the Giants. We've been doing well, Whitey. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative here on air today.
All right. Well, Michael Malone,
Giants playing above their head.
He's trying to figure out how to make sure he gets the best out of his team, because here are the Denver Nuggets. As you know, they're on the threshold of winning their first ever NBA championship. And he knows also that the Miami Heat, it's not like they're going to roll over. So how do you make sure your team is in the best possible frame of mind for tonight's game? Here's Michael Malone on his team's approach for Game 5.
My biggest concern going into any closeout game is human nature and fighting against that. You're up 3-1, and most teams, when you're up 3-1, they come up for air, they relax, and they just kind of take it for granted that, we're going to win this. And the neat thing for us is that going back to the bubble, we've been down 3-1 before, and we've come back and won, and we know anything is possible. And that's why, like, my message to our team before we came down to the media in the open portion of practices was our approach has to be that we're down 3-1. They're desperate. We have to be more desperate. They're hungry. We have to be hungrier. And there is no celebrating after Game 4. We have another game that we have to win. And the closeout game is always the hardest game ever. So I'm looking forward to seeing our approach. We had it in Game 6 against Phoenix. We had it in Game 5 against Minnesota. We had it in Game 4 against the Lakers. And my hope is that tomorrow night, in front of just an unbelievable crowd, incredible environment, that our players understand the opportunity in front of them and take full advantage of it.
I think we all have to admit Michael Malone's done a great job. And so far, the Nuggets have responded to whatever he's thrown at them, including after Game 2, calling them out, basically saying we didn't try hard enough. They responded to that. So I assume that we will see a desperate Nuggets team tonight.
Why? It's over. So it's not even, there's no need to question it.
I'm just scared of the zombie-like Heat, talking about scary things. They are. It's like you think they're dead, and then Jimmy Butler scores 12 in the fourth quarter. Look out. This thing's going back to Miami.
They're not doing that for 3 games in a row. It's not going to happen. Just, they don't have enough talent. They don't have enough oomph. They don't have enough firepower. I know Tyler Hero's supposed to lace him up tonight. He's still going to be on a minutes watch. He's going to be on a minutes watch. He's not going to probably play more than 20, 25 games. Haven't seen a report yet of, his minute watch, but we know it's coming. He can't come out and play 38 minutes when he hasn't played in 4 months. It's just not going to happen,
Another thing that bothers me a little bit about Coach Michael Malone's message is this, because I want Denver to win. I don't even know why I want them to win so badly.
You're rooting for the Nuggets.
I really am.
Because they're the underdog. They've never won a championship.
Well, you know what? That's true. They've gone 46 seasons without a title. That's the most prior to winning a championship in NBA history. The Cavs in 2016, they went 45 seasons without a title. So the Nuggets have gone 46 seasons without a title. So that is part of it. But I feel like the message tonight is not so much, we got to be desperate. It's like, we have to focus on what we're doing. But again, he knows them better than anybody. But I'm not worried so much about them being desperate. Just, hey, focus at playing your game the best you can. They can't beat you if you play your best basketball. This team cannot beat you. To me, that's more important, that focus, than a sense of desperation. But hopefully it's basically the same thing with a different name.
Yeah, maybe just using a different vocabulary. I'm with you. I think it's play your game and you'll win.
Yes, yes.
And if it doesn't happen tonight, it'll happen next game. Just play your game one of these next 3 games, and you should be bringing home a championship to Denver. I just don't see how Miami, with the lack of firepower, the talent, and you touched on something a little earlier. Jimmy Butler looks gassed yet again. We see that meme all the time where Jimmy Butler, and that was during the bubble where he was leaned over, just pretty much like how I am at this point, and he was just gassed. And I think that's kind of where it's at, and that's where
because he's drinking all those Bud Lights in that bar with that WNBA player. That's just too many before a big game.
Or the coffee that he's going to open a coffee shop.
Dehydrated.
Yeah. So it's Denver's title to lose. I thought it was Denver's title to lose when I kept, before the season. Again, I said they would be a gentleman's sweep. I thought it'd be 4-1. I thought Miami would get one in Miami. They got one in Denver, and we'll see. We'll see. I can't see them winning 3 games. If they want to prolong the NBA season for guys like you, Whitey, to have something to watch, go ahead. If not, it's over.
What'd you think of what Brian Custer said today on ESPN? I know we touched on it earlier on SportsCenter. He said next year the team that is the biggest threat to Denver in the West is the Sacramento Kings.
I like where Brian is clicking. I like where he's going. If they'd add Dylan Brooks like I'm asking, I'm just playing.
Fair enough. Yeah. I will say I'm more open to that than I was because he does defend, but I'm still not there yet.
I got you. No worries. The Kings they're on the upswing. They're on the up, the upbeat. They're moving forward. The great part about where the Kings are is a lot of the teams in the West are kind of on the downswing. The stars are older, and they're not going to be around probably for too much longer. The LeBrons, the Kevin Durant's, the Kawhi Leonard's,
Phoenix,
Chris Paul's.
Clippers got a lot of questions. The Warriors, of course, got a lot of.
Absolutely. And so I think the Kings are in a great position if they can sustain where they're going, where they're heading. And as we know, you want to add a piece or two, manipulate, a trade here or two, add someone that we didn't see, maybe sprinkle in some European love like Sasha Vezenkov. The Kings are they're in a great place. We're just asking and hoping they don't mess this up.
The scary thing is if you listen, like those footsteps that me and my mom heard down the hallway, you hear the footsteps behind you and you turn around. Who is that? It's Oklahoma City. It's maybe San Antonio. Right?
Yeah.
I know Zion has a lot to do with whether it's New Orleans or not, but there are a number of the teams that actually finished behind you that they are in position also where they could make moves. And it's all about, are the Kings the biggest threat to the Nuggets next year? I don't know, because we have to wait and see what happens this offseason, which is a hugely important offseason for the Kings.
Yeah.
They're not just going to be by virtue of the fact that they had a good year last year. They're not going to necessarily be a threat to the Nuggets.
Yeah. And you have to grow too. You have to continue to get better with them. As much as one thing about, sports, we're always looking and we're fantasizing about what your team can bring in off season through a trade, a draft, or whatever. But a lot of it has to do within too. Like the players here have to get better. They have to expand. They have to do things that they haven't done. And that's where, quite frankly, that's why the Kings this year took in some steps. Yeah, they added Kevin Huerter, they added Malik Monk, and they added Mike Brown, right?
Yeah.
And so, but a lot of what happened is De'Aaron finally, I won't say finally, but he took the necessary step that everyone here in Sacramento thought he could, and his fans, and people who really believe in what De'Aaron, he finally took the step of being a leader, being an all-star, being an all-NBA player, being probably that 1A guy that a lot of people believe that he could be. And on top of that, Domas was here, and he Domas, as much as he stayed the same, he definitely got better. He's added more triple doubles to the repertoire. And man, I know people knew Domas could pass, but I didn't think we knew he was this good of a passer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's added that. And I know last offseason and this offseason, they're trying to add a lot to his shooting prowess. So hopefully he gets better there too, and takes the shots.
Yes, absolutely. He can learn a lot from that Jokic guy. Coming up next, the biggest mystery of the Kings season remains unsolved, and it could have a big impact on their offseason. Whatever happened to this guy? We answer that question next. Chris and company, Whitey and JJ, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers 2023 schedule is out and filled with big matchups.
The 49ers start the season with a Week 1 showdown in Pittsburgh.
At home in Week 5 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
And a Week 13 NFC Championship game rematch with the Eagles.
San Francisco! Plus, get every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports. Visit SactownSports.com for the latest team news and a full schedule breakdown.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up. You going to be barbecuing, JJ?
Oh yeah, one way or another, man. We get it in, Whitey. I like to put the meat on put the slab on the heat.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, brother. Absolutely, man. I'm all about it.
It just doesn't seem, you look outside, doesn't look like it's almost Father's Day weather at all.
Yesterday I got my my honeydew list in, right? I was trying to push and get as much stuff as done because last week and the week before just busy. And I have I'm like, all right, so we have a combination of 4 cars between me and my wife. And I'm a car guy, so they'll take it whatever. I actually have 5, but one I got a 95 Camaro I'm trying to do some stuff to. But 4 operable cars. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to run them all through the car wash. I'm going to get them detailed, I knocked it out. So I got through 3, right? And I look up, it's probably like 6 o'clock or whatever. And I'm looking, I'm like, it better not rain. If it rains, I'm going to be pissed. It better not rain. So I'm like, forget that. I move one car into the garage and the other one, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just let it live. And if it rains, I'll take it back, that type of thing. So it did not, thankfully. It did not, at least where I was.
Yeah. So Father's Day means what? U.S. Open means Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Although I don't think we're going to get a Game 7 this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it means Jay putting his feet up and chilling.
Nice.
Yeah. How about yourself?
We're not sure where we're going yet. If we're going to go down family Bay Area or hang out around here.
Yeah.
So we still are exploring our options.
Okay.
Doesn't look like we'll be watching basketball.
No. I see this is really paining you that this may come to an end today.
It doesn't. It doesn't. If it does, that means, Denver wins. But that also means, no basketball for a while. That's okay. Get ready for the California Classic and the draft and all that. It's going to happen eventually. So
year-round, all day. Cali Classic coming out in about a month.
Yeah.
Or a little less than a month. And like you said, you have Summer League. See, it's boring around here because the Kings aren't looking forward to the draft. They aren't looking forward to the Summer League. Normally, every single year, that's something that we pencil in. Oh, my goodness, the hope of being, now we're all bored and now we're spoiled and now we're all upset because, the season has come to an end and we're all looking forward to next year, while the last, decade and some change, everybody's like, oh, come, forget it, man. I'm ready for the season to be over.
Yeah.
So how things have changed. And I won't say the mighty because we haven't been mighty for a long time, but how things have changed around here in Sacramento.
Right. That said, it's going to be, everyone knows, a crucial offseason. To the point you made before we took a break, there are 4 ways you improve your team, right? There's through the draft, which is open to the Kings, although we'll see at 24. I don't think Chris Murray's going to be there. Maybe they trade out, but you have the draft. you have trades, you have free agency, and then you have what you were talking about, which the good teams are always really good at, sneaky good at player development, making the players you already have better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Very true.
But here's the thing that to me is the mystery of last season that to me is unsolved. And if you know, 339-1140, hit us up on, text us or shoot us a message on the YouTube chat. To me, the biggest mystery last year was Rashawn Holmes. Why did he not play more? What happened to Rashawn Holmes? And what do you do with him this offseason? I have no idea what happened. I'll be totally honest. I know that he'd had some off-court issues, but I looked it up and everything. It said, I know he sued somebody because there were some things reported about him that were not true, and he actually got custody of a child that he was accused of not being a very good parent to. So I don't see how it could have been any of that. When he played, he was productive. Before Sabonis came here, he was considered like the best backup center in the league. So what happened?
If you have the answer, tell me. I don't. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to have it.
Was he not receptive to Mike Brown's coaching? That would be my best guess on some level. But even that, it's like at some point you would think he would play more, because when he did, I thought he played pretty well when he did play. And we know that before Sabonis got here, he was a really good player.
Yeah. Again, Whitey, if someone has the answer, I'll be more than willing to listen and adhere to what maybe, is said. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that
I give him credit. Whatever it is, they've kept it in house. And I'm not saying it's anything untoward, but if it is something like he just didn't do what we wanted him to do, they've kept that in house.
Because there were definitely opportunities where he could have been utilized or seemed to be.
You would think. I think
utilized.
he started one game this year.
Yep, injury but I think it was the Domas game where he was out because of the hand that one game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. From the outside looking in, I believe he could have brought a few things that the Kings lacked, which was rebound, a little more defense. I'm not saying Rashawn is, all league defender, but he's definitely shown he's better at defense than what we've seen for the Kings this past season in many different, variations.
I think if you look to that point real quick, if you look at his offensive rating and his defensive rating, I think it's right side up, which is offensive rating higher than defensive rating.
Yep, it is.
Every year of his career, certainly every year he's been here. So that suggests that, there's a lot to what you're saying.
Truth. And the other part of that too, though, is I'm not even looking back. I'm kind of more looking forward. If he's not in the rotation, which is, we can see that, utilize him.
Yes.
Meaning make him a trade chip.
That's
a
it.
piece.
That's
chip.
why I even bring it up. Yes.
And the tough part
what kind of
now.
value does he have now?
That's it. That's where I was going, Whitey. The tough part is it's kind of one of those things where, you wanted to trade high when he was valuable, around the league. At one point in time, there was whispers of Charlotte, before Charlotte wanted to pick him up. Atlanta was kind of in the mix. There were some teams that could use him. Dallas had been whispered around the league, of being interested in the fact of what he could present and what he could bring to the team. And it's kind of one of those things, out of sight, out of mind with Rashawn Holmes. And it's going to be very difficult to kind of get max value for what Rashawn probably, delivers and what he can bring. His contract in NBA form right now is very attainable. Like it's $12 million.
He's at 12, and then he has a player option right after this year. And then if he opted in, then he'd be a free agent the year after. That seems unlikely, but that's the contract.
I mean, that's nothing. That's small chips to a giant in the NBA right now, especially for what he does, being a top-rated backup center. And that's kind of how, if I'm the Kings, that's how I'm selling it. Rashawn is a ready-to-go package for someone who's ready to win. Philadelphia, something like that. He would work fantastic for the Warriors. I don't know why the Warriors didn't come knocking on the door. He would fit perfectly. He gets up and down the floor. He's athletic. He'll go get it out the sky. He was on the glass enough. He's
got that little push.
Yes, and the thing about him is he has, he's been on this network quite a few times. At one point in time, he came in with this whole family on the show and introduced, the mom and pop's homes and
one
brother
thing I'd say
and
if
all
I'm
that.
the Warriors, I would say, look, Mike Brown runs very similar system.
For sure.
Because he can't play in that system, so I don't know if he could play in ours. But I understand what
that's
saying.
NBA talk, man. And look, who am I to say? Who am I to second guess?
It's a mystery. It's really,
Mike Brown and his staff. But my thing is I don't know what you're going to be able to get from him. I don't know why they didn't play him. I don't know what happened with Rashawn falling off. For me, what seems like the end of the earth. He went from a Sacramento fan favorite, which he still is, but getting playing time, being activated, doing his things to the point of where it's like, if you didn't,
the fourth center almost.
If you don't have the opportunity to go down there like me and you or whatever, I get to see Rashawn sometimes, after games, and it's family, just a lovely family, by the way. The Holmes family, man, his brother, every single time I do get to see him, always just on point, his mom and his father, just some of the sweetest folks that you would ever meet. His son, man, I've seen his son around, the arena a few times. I don't know. I wish I had that answer. I don't know. And I don't want to put the fact that, because for me, good people deserve good things to happen for them. And I don't want to put my personal feelings in the fact of business, because this is business.
Yeah.
But I do think he can bring something to a team. He's shown it. He's proven it. I just hope he has an opportunity, because it doesn't look like it's going to be here for Sacramento to do it outside for another team.
Yeah. And obviously there were reasons, whatever they were, but you don't play a guy who had, a reputation in the league as being somebody who could do some things. Then you drain him of much of his value too. So when it comes to a situation like now where you'd like to move him and teams are going to look at that, well, why you didn't even play the guy?
Why do I want him?
So what's going on? So I don't know.
Pennies on the dollar, Whitey.
I hope for his sake he's able to find a friendlier environment, and I hope the Kings are able to get something for him, a guy who's been a good player in the NBA.
Yes. I mean, Rashawn is always kind of borderline being backup starter.
Yeah,
and of course it depends on what team, he's going to be a part of. But Rashawn has a lot to give to anybody, any team. And, the other thing too that he's shown me, professionalism.
Oh, absolutely.
The last year and a half of all the things off the court that has affected him. Because for me, this all started when he got hurt, and then we started to hear he had to take a leave from the team because of some personal issues. One thing Rashawn has definitely established, man, dude's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
He's on point,
Yes.
and that means a lot, especially when we're talking about guys like, I would love to see Dylan Brooks. It hasn't always been a professional on the court.
You don't have to.
He's been off that.
You don't have to.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to win the Sacramento fandom over, man. Bring Dylan Brooks in.
By the way, I will also say that, again, I said it already, but about the team, whatever it is, maybe it is physical. The fact that the team has kept a lid on it, that's very professional too and very courteous, I think, as far as we know.
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, you don't want to throw somebody under the bus, but
I'm giving shots out to Rashawn Holmes before I give it to the NBA.
What we have here for you is we have a pair of tickets to see Sam Hunt at Harvey's Lake Tahoe on the 13th of August.
You going?
Chris and company want to send you to see country superstar Sam Hunt. Probably not this time around. I've seen him so many times already. At Harvey's Lake Tahoe, August 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline for your chance to win right now. Caller number, what do you think, JJ? It's up to you.
I'm going 6.
Caller number 6.
You could be in the house with Whitey.
Yeah. Not
this time.
For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Up next, we'll explain that odd Denver trade that they made last week on Chris and Company. Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Guys, did you know that June is Men's Health Month? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your hormones are serious business, and most men start to see changes in their hormone levels starting in their 30s. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Get your T levels checked today by a local, experienced, and trusted healthcare professional. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men since 2011. Experience and results matter. So, what are you waiting for? Call Revive today to schedule your free testosterone test and free exam. We know we can help you. We guarantee it. Celebrate Men's Health Month. Get your free T-level test and save $199. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. With My Plan, you pick only the perks you want and save on every one. So you get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. And for a limited time only, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Act now and get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with Port-In. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trading conditions and additional terms apply.
O'Reilly. Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate plus 2 times O Rewards points with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. If your vehicle's AC is blowing hot air, beat the heat with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Denver Nuggets lead the Miami Heat 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Game 5 is slated for tonight at 5:30 on ABC. Is tonight the night that Nikola Jokic becomes an NBA champion? Well, Cattles and Rami will have your pregame coverage as well as a first quarter breakdown during the last half hour of their show. The Stockton Kings head coach Bobby Jackson is leaving Sacramento to join Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant coach. For more on the move, read Frankie Cardicelli's story up now at SactownSports.com. And in baseball, the Oakland A's have won 5 games in a row. How about that? The A's can make the AL wildcard if they win 73 of their next 95 games, which would be 35 games better than the current pace of the first-place Tampa Bay Rays. Speaking of the Rays, there's a reverse boycott at the Oakland Coliseum tomorrow night. Those are your headlines. Now it's time for the final half hour of Chris and Company with Whitey Gleason and Jay Johnson.
It saddens me to report that on the YouTube chat, the name Kelly Oubre has popped up. I don't think Kelly Oubre is a good fit for the Kings, and I liked Kelly Oubre a lot when he was with Phoenix. Remember, he didn't go to the bubble with Phoenix, and they won all their games. Then he got traded to the Warriors, and he didn't really fit in real well there, and he went to Charlotte, and he's had some moments there. So I just, he's a talented player. I don't think he's a real good fit for a Kings system that is similar to a Warrior system, and he was not a good fit for a Warrior system.
Yeah, agreed. I'm past him. He was a hot name, a la Cam Johnson, which we keep hearing this offseason.
Cam Johnson replaced Kelly Oubre.
That's the hot name. He's a hot name this offseason for people for that 3-and-D. There's so little 3-and-D guys in the league that Cam Johnson is a hot name for everybody this season.
Cam Johnson's a hot name because he's a really good player.
Same thing, Kelly Oubre. He was hot for a long time. And it's just ain't moving the needle.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody won with Cam Johnson. Ain't nobody won with Kelly Oubre.
Well, the Suns almost won the championship.
Almost ain't it. Look, I tell you this,
Whitey.
Whitey.
Conference championship.
I'm pretty sure there's some things in your life you almost did.
Tell me about all
one way or another would have went bad or good.
Championships.
He
did
all
his rings.
0. Same thing. He's in the same boat. They both, matter of fact, they both fishing in the same boat. You on the left side, he on the right side.
Big boat. There's a lot of people in that boat. By the way, just to try to wrap up the Rashawn Holmes conversation, I think if we had to guess, our best guess would be it has something to do with him not fitting Mike Brown's system.
True.
And that's not based on, well, this is what someone said, but I can't say. It's just like, what? We don't understand it, but that's our best guess.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm 100% with you, Whitey. I think it's just a system thing. There's in this day and age, if there was anything else underlining, believe me, we would have heard by now.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I wanted to just circle back to that trade the Nuggets made last week that baffled a lot of people. Carmichael Dave, when I came in on Friday and I saw him in downstairs, and he was like, "Did you hear about the Nuggets made a trade?" He just couldn't understand. He couldn't fathom how the Nuggets could make a trade during the finals. But I bring it up here not because I want to make fun of Carmichael Dave, although it's part of it.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, but it's just, I think it actually relates in a way to the Kings. The Nuggets made this trade with the Thunder because the Thunder has all these picks, and they're like spreading out their picks. And see, here's where the Nuggets are. They have a really expensive team, which they're thrilled with because they're on the verge of winning a championship. But it's hard for teams that are bumping up against the cap and over the cap to add players. So they got this pick, 2023 first rounder from Oklahoma City, the second of their best of their picks, because they're looking at ways to maximize their championship window. They need to add players, and they can't sign guys because of the rules prohibiting you from signing guys when you're up against the cap. So it's like, we need cheap players, we need first-round talent, and hopefully we can get a player that way. That's what the trade was about, and the Kings, in a way, are in a similar situation.
Yeah, but not close to a championship.
Right. So you had, the Nuggets trying to maximize their championship window. They get, and I said 23, it's actually 24. They get the least favorable of Oklahoma City's first-round picks in the 2024 draft, and then the 37th pick this year in the draft. So they have a chance to get a player who maybe could help them next year. And it's just hard for them to add players other than drafting players right now. And the Kings in a similar situation, drafting 24th, right? You'd love to get a guy that can help you, but that pick may be of more value to you if you're able to package it up and send it off somewhere.
Hence why you've been preaching over the last week and a half of taking that pick and packaging it with Sasha Vezenkov.
If you can get something of value. I think some people think I trade Vezenkov. It's like, no, but I would look at it if he and a pick, and Rashawn Holmes even too, a big old package. If I can get something of value there, I would be open to it because Vezenkov right now is an asset to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
He's a tool. He's something that you can utilize.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, Whitey, what's the big swing for you? If you can get Vezenkov in a piece and maybe Rashawn, let's just say in a perfect world, what's the big swing for you?
To me, the big swing, and I don't think I'd do it, but the big swing would be something like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, that's almost unattainable.
Yeah.
So give me something that's more attainable, because even if that's the case, the Kings aren't going to pay
Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
I mean, to me, those are the big swing moves, and I agree with you. They're not very likely.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's. I mean, it's so unlikely. We're talking about a guy who's getting paid $300 million. That doesn't fit the Kings' budget. That's not going to happen. Even sign and trade, whatever. It's not. You don't pass $300 million. True, but
I agree with you.
You're going to
It's
have to
unlikely.
pay him that.
I agree with you, but you say
It's
big swing.
unattainable. I know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but
OG Anunoby is not a huge swing, but he'd be like a double up the gap.
Okay.
I think.
Gap to gap.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Okay. And
how about you?
It would be someone that I think is on an uptick, someone younger. I threw out Bam. Yeah, someone who's a little better than that.
What about someone like a Jeremy Grant in Portland?
I'm not tied to Jeremy Grant.
You know what? I'm not either. And I just read, from what I read, Kevin O'Connor reporting, Portland wants to keep him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
all right.
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent, so it'd be a sign and trade for anyone.
You're helping us
he's
out.
a guy that puts up some really good numbers on teams that aren't very good.
Right.
And, okay.
Right. You're helping us out.
Yeah.
You know, I think my big swing, and I went with this for me, was the two that popped in my mind is if the Warriors truly want to hang on to Draymond and run it back another year or two, they're going to have to put up a lot of money, which means for me, the guy on the out is probably Andrew Wiggins. I think if you could somehow, some way finesse your way into Andrew Wiggins, I think he's a perfect fit. I think he's the big swing. My other big swing is Bam Adebayo. I think you need someone who can play defense, who still offensively, and I think that's kind of the tree you're barking up with Cam Johnson, someone who offensively is competent to put up 20 points. I'm looking for someone that can be a 3 every night. And if not a 3, he's the 2, meaning De'Aaron's probably going to lead this team in scoring. I need the next guy to be borderline 2 or 3 every night with Domas. Because if we can kick Domas into being a 3 and we'll take the 12.
You mean like
11
third most important player, not the small forward position.
Yes, exactly.
3.
If you can every night flip-flop with Domas and be the second to third most important player on the team and have your stats equal that, then I'm on point. And I think that's Andrew Wiggins. That's Bam Adebayo. And couple things, because remember, I always say this is my goal and aspiration is I'm not swinging for names. I'm swinging for championships. I'm always trying to win a championship. So the way I look at the landscape of sports is, can I win a championship with that guy? Yes, as you talked about, there are big boats that guys have never won. Charles Barkley, Patrick, we go down the list. But I know they can win a championship. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
To me, there are certain guys that being within my rotation of 9 guys, I just never can see that person being a part of that 9 that's going to win a championship.
Okay, how about something like, and I don't even know if this works. Someone will go to the trade machine now and say, it doesn't even work, stupid. But I'm just throwing this out there.
Sure.
Vazenkov, and I think he'd have to be okay with this. He'd have to sign on for it. Vazenkov and
you trade his rights. Bye.
The pick, which I don't know if you can do that, because then he'll just go, I'm not coming over,
True.
and then no one's going to trade for him.
I got you.
The pick, and then maybe if I have to throw Holmes in there, Pascal Siakam.
I try it. I take it because I believe he can be a 2 or 3. We see he can win a championship.
Yes.
That's
my big swing for you.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I'm ready to roll with that for sure.
If Harrison Barnes is willing to go to Toronto, they can make it work financially.
Right, you have to flip it. But, I mean, look, if it – again, we're in fantasy land. And we're not looking for – we could all be like, Devin Booker. That's not going to happen. The Jaylen Brown thing is not going to happen.
Well, my trade probably wouldn't happen because I think Toronto could probably get more for Siakam than
Agreed.
that.
Agreed. But as you talked about, they're probably going in a new direction. They have a new coach.
Yes.
They're probably
Toronto's
looking
a team
young.
to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
yes.
Pascal doesn't probably want to go through another 3-year rebuild. He might get on the phone and say, holler at his agent, man, bye, let me go. You know, and you just never know, especially with picks. And the Kings have 99. They're like Oklahoma City. They have a ton of second-round picks too. And from everything we keep reading about the CBA and the new CBA, the second-round picks are going to start to have more value. How? I don't know why. We can go down the long road of financially, and we don't have the time right now for.
Well, it's just harder to add guys by other means, so the picks are more important because they're cheaper. I think that's a lot of it.
I would be in on Pascal.
Yeah, me too. I'll take a look at that and see if there's any way that pencils out. Coming up, we look back on this date in sports history and figure out, are those things even worth remembering? When Rami joins us for Crosstalk on Chris and Co, Whitey and JJ, Sactown Sports.
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Returning is honestly my number one priority. Be a part of something special.
Stay tuned all off season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that Auto Trader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with Auto Trader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on Auto Trader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Greetings from M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And a big thanks to our repeat customers for letting us be your favorite car dealer. Repeat customers make us proud. M&S customers know that they're going to find the car, 4x4, or SUV they want. They'll get treated like family and save thousands. Whether you're a repeat customer or a first-time buyer, welcome. M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
The Gold Rush Classic takes place July 13th and 14th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun and play golf with a celebrity, or just check out the concert. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. For more info, go to goldrushclassic.org.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
We still got a lot of pizza left in the box, but JJ thanks. It's been a ton of fun. We're not done yet, but just thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Brother. I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
There's pizza?
No, not literally. I'm sorry.
And definitely not without pineapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time somebody brought pizza in here,
spoiled it.
Had pineapple all over it, ruining it.
You can't just remove it?
No, it's got the juices all over it.
It can stay. It's delicious.
No.
Nope.
No. And that's the thing about pineapples, like you cook it and all the liquid just comes out of it and just the whole thing just tastes like pineapple.
I have
ruins it.
Friend, and he used to live in Japan for a while. He was like an exchange student. And he said on their pizza, they had some weird things. Like he said, there was one pizza topping combination, squid and corn.
Yeah, you had that.
Squid and corn?
I'm not going to lie. I would try it.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
You can have that.
A calamari, maybe. Like if you fried some calamari.
And I don't know if it was calamari, if it was just like,
I might eat that.
Yeah.
But,
it might have been, well, probably was. I was thinking it could have been raw squid. I don't know.
No, I don't eat raw anything.
Corn.
I'm with you, Rami.
What?
Unless it's fruit.
Yeah.
I had a delicious clam pizza once in San Francisco. Delicious.
I've seen it.
To pipe in for that.
I've seen, all the lobster and all that type of stuff. Clam pizza, spot in LA called Barry's Pizza. They're known for that type of wild stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people eat it, but
What's your go-to? Like Friday night, we're watching basketball and Sheena brought pizza, and she had some different pizza, and I was like, pepperoni, and I just devoured.
Yeah, pepperoni,
slice after
sausage,
slice.
onion.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
some green peppers on there.
Mine's is pepperoni, sausage, black olives.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'll remember that.
I'm all about all of that.
Keep
All
it
right.
simple.
Yeah, simple.
You know,
Yeah.
Stick with the
I'm
classics.
simple, brother.
Today is June the
Lots of
12th.
cheese.
And I just
that
want to
part.
take a moment to look back on, this day in sports history. But I wanted to look at a couple things that stood out and then ask you guys, are these things even worth remembering?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know you had one that's not even sports related.
Oh, yeah. 36 years ago, Predator was released today. Predator.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was never.
Our former
I
governor.
loved Arnold Schwarzenegger and all like the action movies of the 80s.
Mhm.
I never got into Predator for some
Yeah,
reason.
me
It wasn't really my thing. Terminator movies, love the Terminator movies. All the Rocky movies, Rambo, Commando, you name it. But Predator just wasn't on my radar.
So you're
for
getting that
some
thumbs
reason.
down, huh?
Yeah.
How about yourself, Whitey? Predator?
Never seen it.
Really? Wow.
Then I guess you weren't really that into it. Yeah.
Last Action Hero.
Safe to say.
Last Action Hero.
I love
Go.
the Last
Oh,
Action
wow.
Hero. Yeah, absolutely.
Eraser.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Eraser. Vanessa Williams.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't recall.
I'm in on
nothing.
Eraser.
Yeah. All right.
Expendables. Have you seen any of the
Have not.
Expendables?
No,
oh,
I
I love
haven't.
the
I
Expendables.
haven't.
4 coming out this year. You Expendable? Don't tell me you haven't seen that either. None of them. Not one. There's 3 of them to choose from.
That's the one with like all the guys,
yeah,
right?
A plethora of cats. Jet Li.
I've never seen one.
Oh man, y'all gotta stop cheating yourself.
I'm not.
See,
a
this is
movie
the problem.
person,
This is what I'm finding out, and I don't mean to derail.
No,
what I'm
that's fine.
finding out about Sac Sports 1140's crew is y'all need some lives at this place.
You know,
man.
it's really
Like
depressing.
so many of y'all sports orientated. Y'all don't do nothing outside of life.
Movies Saturday
Well, not
night.
you,
I
Rodney.
saw
I'm saying
Guardians of the Galaxy.
what I'm saying is Sac Sports' whole crew.
Couple of weeks
Like
ago. Yeah.
honestly, if we sit down and look from the morning show to the afternoon to our guys, online guys, it's like we're too sports orientated.
Broaden your horizons.
I
a
told
little.
him
man.
earlier that I was watching
Get
the
a life.
Angels and the Mariners last week, and he almost left. He almost like walked out of the studio.
Yeah.
Like, why are you watching that?
Man, y'all too many people here at these stations. Our life is wrapped around sports. I get it; it's your job and all, but you got to do some other stuff, man. None of y'all barbecuing, ain't
Spread
nobody.
your wings.
Yeah,
I'm busy performing comedy in front of 8 people
Okay,
all
there
across
you go.
Sacramento.
That's all right.
That's something
Come on
outside
now.
sports. Spread those wings.
I'm not
Kyle.
watching the Angels face the Mariners. I'm not watching it.
Hey, good ball game.
But Whitey's a real baseball fan, though. Like we said, he's watching the
baseball.
Marlins and the Braves on a Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah. On this date,
That's a pretty good
1839,
thing right
is this worth remembering? 1839, Abner Doubleday created the game of baseball,
Yeah, that's-
according to the legend.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's big time.
That's
I'm not-
fake.
I'm
That's
not
not
the-
even what happened.
I'm not the man I am. If not, what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's
not
not
what
Abner
happened.
Doubleday didn't
Then why are you
invent
telling me it
baseball.
happened today?
What?
What?
I said according to legend.
Okay.
This is the date when supposedly, but I think it's a lie created by a sporting goods company way back when they said, how do we even explain this baseball? Oh, we'll say this guy and supposedly what he shot the first shot in the Civil War, whatever. It's not even true.
So who invented baseball?
It just evolved out of various games, rounders
Variations and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
All
I'll
right.
take your word for it.
Okay.
I don't
but
know.
you're honoring
I
this
always-
anniversary?
I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
and Abner Doubleday and all that?
I was held Abner Doubleday in
Okay.
high regard, and you
All right.
just ruined it. You just changed my whole
Sorry,
outlook
I'm
on
just trying
things.
to open
Why
your
do-
eyes.
I don't know
to
why you
things.
do that.
like
Just like
it.
JJ's
I
trying
like
to do
it.
with movies.
That's
I don't know why
right.
you do that.
Yeah. This date, 1991. Is this worth remembering? The Chicago Bulls won their first NBA title, beating the Lakers 4 games to 1.
Oh man, this brings back memories. Those were good times.
You're
Those are
asking
good-
the wrong
Those are
person.
good times for a young Rami Makloff. Those are really good times. Oh man,
How good?
MJ with the thing, with the
Yeah.
switching hand. Oh, that was
a big one because they beat Magic.
Yeah, they beat
in that
Magic.
one.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. That was I think that was the first. Like I was old enough to kind of remember the Bears winning a championship. I was like 5, 6. But that was the first one where I really knew what was going on and experienced a championship as a fan. That was pretty cool. So for me, yeah, that's a pretty big deal right there.
Rami, look, I'm not gonna tear down a man's hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and everything.
Yeah, you already
That's
ruined
yours.
Abner Doubleday for
me. Straight up.
They just have one more here. This date, 1997. And I remember this. People around here remember this. Interleague play began in baseball, ending a 126-year tradition of separating the major leagues. Giants beat the Rangers 4-3, the first interleague game ever, 1996.
I didn't like it. I don't know about you, Jay. I didn't like it at first. I was not in favor of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it still should be constructed a different way now. I think it's taken a lot of lure and luster out of certain things.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, you're playing everyone all the time. It kind of should be some type of shuffle of how the NFL does it, where you jump around, play divisions or something, because the fact of it is if you make something a little more sacred, people tune in a little more, pay a little more. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've gotten used to it. I hated it, gotten used to it. But the thing is, come World Series time, to your point, now when you have two teams that play, in the World Series, it used to be, wow, these guys, they never played each other.
Even the All-Star game.
Yeah. And now it's like, I saw them play like Kyle said, on a Tuesday night in June. I already saw these teams playing each other. So anyway, something lost there.
Maybe
but
once
that's
or
the way
twice.
it goes.
Yeah, maybe once or twice during the season, or
Yeah.
you jump around, you switch, every 3 years,
Yeah.
that type of situation.
Yeah.
It leaves just a little more suspension, so, that type of situation for me.
Yeah.
When it comes to unlike you and Kyle watching whatever games on a Tuesday night between the Minnesota Twins and the Miami Marlins. Whatever.
Well, I didn't say I was doing
you did.
that.
You jumped in on there, Kyle. You're held accountable now, brother.
I just wanted to state for the record, the Angels are actually not bad this year. They are 2 games out of the wild card.
Give a chance.
I'm not watching no Angels Marlins game on a Tuesday night.
do
I
have
apologize.
They do have 2 of the best, if not the 2 best players in the league on their roster.
Thank you.
I will watch Shohei Ohtani.
You know what that's called, Rami?
What's that?
Highlights.
And they just called up
highlights,
Joe Adele, but you're probably not going to care about that.
Oh, Joe Adele. Who could have forget?
I've been hearing about him for 5 years. He
I
hasn't
know,
done
Kyle.
anything.
Speaking of baseball, Roms, we were discussing the fact that Brent Rooker of the A's said this weekend at the Pfister, he said, only problems I had was a TV going on and off and the channels changed. And he said, if that's all that they're doing, I don't have a problem with
I've
it.
never stayed there because I lived in Milwaukee. I didn't need a hotel. And the few times I've visited, I have not chosen the Pfister. But I mean, a lot of people have a lot of stories about that place, about things moving, about sounds in the middle of the night, doors opening themselves, unlocking themselves.
If he's telling the truth, I would not have the nerve to say, oh, if that's all they're doing, I'm fine.
I think it's just gotten some lore, and now the staff are just messing with people. That's always that's always been my theory, is that the staff is just having a little fun with the lore of the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee. That's always been my theory.
And you know what I say, Rami, is you wouldn't get an opportunity to do anything, play any type of game with me, because I wouldn't stay there.
You're not even driving by, are you?
Not if there's a conference at the spot, I'm not even going.
I've been in it, but I've never stayed the night.
A workshop, a
What about the
symposium, I'm
parking
not a
lot?
part of
What if
it.
you have to pick somebody up out front?
Nah, I'm good.
All
I'll
right.
send an Uber.
Yeah, Kettles and Rami coming up next right here on Sactown Sports.
It's Kettles and Rami.
You don't need more than 8 bowls in your house at any particular time. And if you're having more people than that, just bust out the